And Tropicana gets its roof torn off, Tropicana Stadium that the Tampa Bay Rays play in. And if you look into it, Tropicana orange juice was created in 1947 at the same time the U.S. military did their first ever experiment on a hurricane. You guys look it up, 1947, first experiment on a hurricane. Bradenton, Florida is where Tropicana orange juice was created. Bradenton. So you just happen to have Anderson.
I've had non-sexual orgasms within my body, pleasures that I didn't know were possible.
Fuck yeah.
There's another short hat.
You deserve that, wrestler.
It's true. You do deserve it.
It's damn near like a rite of passage in this. Oh my god, it's working.
Mandy says that Dolly grips harder than me. This is fucking unacceptable.
Get pulled out, bitch. You don't grip them enough.
I really haven't been grifting hard enough. You guys, I just found out I have cancer.
Bank account cancer?
Got cancer in your pee-pee?
You have cancer.
All right, but seriously, donate some fucking money just because I might have cancer and just not know about it.
And to be fair, that is untreated, unknown cancer is the worst type of cancer because it's untreated.
Right,
So I think
and
that's,
unknown.
for untreated cancer people, get out your wallets, open your wallets, open your heart.
I can't believe I have the worst type of cancer there is. This is tragic. I just need some money.
God is so good. The stillness is so gentle. The silence is powerful. See, because it's through the silence of our listening and our seeking that God reveals the wisdom. The wisdom is realized in the silence from within you. The silence within you is beyond the mind chatter, behind those gossiping and controlling voices that are always around, whether it's in your ears or around. There's voices and gossip and voices and words that want to control you, want to interrupt your peace, interrupt your silence. You choose what you
You choose what you allow.
You choose what you fucking allow. So true, Talcott.
I got something funny to show you if you can see it.
I might be able to.
For real.
So true, dude.
I'm saving that. Maybe we can do something with it after your party.
We can for sure do something with it.
Oh man, I am hella tired, but I'm getting sick.
Have you slept yet?
Yeah, I slept a little bit, and then I stream with Flow a little bit. And
Well, as the boomers say, pull yourself up by your fucking bootstraps, young man. All right.
About new.
How about
this?
How about I like myths.
Have you heard of what's going on with Trump and Elon Musk lately? Like today?
Yeah, fucking. So I got the rundown of it really fast. There was a bill that was introduced, and in that bill,
A big, beautiful bill.
a big, beautiful bill, the biggest
Big
ever.
and beautiful.
Some would say the largest.
And the most beautiful, some would say.
Yeah. So in that bill, it cut electric vehicle funding, right? And Elon Musk did not like that very much.
Was he angry?
So he got a little angry. And I don't know if, I think like this was like the media is trying to portray it like this is supposed to make you hate Trump, but like this actually made me kind of like him more. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know, bro. Because like it shows. Huh?
You know the old question: who behaves better in a convenience store, a black guy or a bear?
Yeah.
There is no sound with this. We have video evidence. I seen.
Did he just take a single fucking snack?
Yeah, and went out the door. Ain't that fucking wild?
I mean, who's gonna stop him, right?
I mean, same difference. Who's gonna stop a pack of wild teens? You know.
Oh shit! Someone's been over on fucking Braves channel.
Yeah, I went over there yesterday. I did a Sasquatch shills last night. And then I did a talk
you did a lot?
Yeah, I did. What were we gonna say?
You did a lot of shit yesterday. You did a Sasquatch chills, then you did a fucking debate on Truism show, and you're saying before the Sasquatch chills, you were over at Braves channel too?
It was either earlier that morning or the day before.
Yeah, you are fucking breaking bumpkin numbers here, dude.
I'm trying to grow my shit, trying to provide good content, trying to network.
Yeah. I mean,
on top of working out for the weight loss and trying to be productive outside of YouTube, so it's like I'm tired as fuck. Ain't had much sleep in the past week.
That's
and
fair.
Then I'm
Don't
also
worry, I'm gonna
recovering from being sick.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the first one I ran across. Right, Elon Musk is very angry. He says the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. Can I finally say? And that was a reply to someone saying, "Can I finally say the Trump tariffs are stupid?" Elon Musk is ass mad.
This is crazy. Show your true colors more, you fucking dickhead. So you're telling me you're going to be a ride or die Trumper all the way up to the moment that he passes a bill that is good for everyone, but not good for your company. Wow. Imagine my fucking shock.
Why is Lil Wayne's The Carter 4 trending? Like, that was my favorite album when I was a teenager, like an 18-year-old. I don't know why that's trending. It's weird. But no, this is the bombshell, right? Elon Musk says time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. There is a reason they have not made it public. Have a nice day, DJT.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, no, it is. Ooh, it is bad. It is very bad.
Watch yourself, Elon. You're getting in. You know they've made bigger people not exist.
Well, no, it was the funny joke about the CIA and FBI when they get the order to take out Elon, and he's been cutting their funding for like 6 months.
Did you hear my directions come through there? By the way.
No. Hey, Jim, what's up? No, I didn't hear it. It made a weird screeching sound, though. That's it.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. But so I guess I need to make a viewer discretion advised banner because in a little bit we're gonna go to war footage because apparently Russia has retaliated against that drone strike against Ukraine today and started saturation bombing major cities. So all the Trump supporters are also upset. This is like their 9/11 that Elon and Trump are fighting. I really, really, really hate this day. I like 9mm SMG on Twitter. He's funny and stuff. Are you there, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I think I might be going through a dead zone or something, but I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I agree. You're a dead zone.
You're a fucking dead zone.
Yeah, pretty much. But so I don't know. What do you think? Because apparently today, this has been going on all day yesterday, and I don't think it was happening before, but apparently Trump and Elon are supposed to have a call sometime this morning to broker a peace deal.
Why are we brokering peace deals? What is going on? Dude, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, brokering, he's not a part of the United States government. Why are we brokering peace deals? What is going on? Are we watching two friends fight and now we're brokering peace deals in the White House?
Yeah, unironically, that's it. This is a fight between two friends and Indians glazing other Indians in the latest episode of how tribalism works in real life. The smartest Republican in the USA. Let me tell you about your country.
Ramaswamy, oh my God, Ramaswamy stands fucking make me want to blow my brains out.
But sir, let me tell you, Robert Lee was a traitor.
Robert Lee was a traitor. I'm Indian, by the way.
I love democracy. I love
democracy. I love the Republic. By the way, everyone go check out my short. It's really funny.
So people have been giving me hell. Like Flo's been messing with me about my voice and bullying me because I fucked up and let it be known that I don't like being a squeaker. And I'm self-conscious about my voice. And he's been messing with me, and it's been quite humorous even. And like because I got this new mic and it picks up my actual voice, they were messing with like he's trying to make his voice deeper. It's like, no the fuck I'm not. This is just how I talk. Especially when I get really relaxed and I'm not excited. Like it's crazy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This was him. This is his reply to, let me see. Okay, yeah, this is what he's replying to, so we'll play that first.
Which was a lot of money for
Elon's bitching about this.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles, and they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning, Mr. Secretary. That hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. All of the things that we're doing.
So apparently Elon got ass mad that he wasn't going to get a subsidy to sell his electric cars. Is what this is telling me.
Capitalists are going to capitalists. Man.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Man.
All I'm saying is Henry Ford wouldn't have did this. That's all I'm saying.
Low volume. Well, the video was low volume. There wasn't really anything I could do about it. Basically, he was saying that he was surprised. There were subtitles, but he was saying that he was surprised that Elon, because apparently Trump did I think a Truth Social post, or it may have been a Twitter post, saying that Elon just snapped and left, apparently. But this is Elon's reply. Whatever. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil or gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. So they
Why
are
these two-
having a full on chimp out at one another.
these are people that are in power within the United States, by the way.
These are by the way, I've discussed it with Flo, and because I talked to the guy I'm talking about, and he's not as bad as he seemed because he was a prick, but he was saying some really gay stuff, and I just could feel the fascism leaving my body the more this guy like wanted to bitch and run to the state and like snitch on people and complain. I'm like, bro, I'm becoming more and more of a libertarian the more I hear people do this shit. By the way.
Yeah, have fun. I mean, if you want to revert back to Gatum, that's fine.
Oh no, it's a joke. But so Elon put out a poll about a third party in the US that actually represents the 80% of the middle. Won't happen. It'll be a poll for the oligarchs, but 5 million people voted and 80% said yes. So Americans do want more than just Democrats and Republicans.
But it's not going to come from a fucking oligarch. The dude that threw a fucking temper tantrum about him not getting subsidized by the fucking United States government is not going to create a working class movement.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? If an oligarch party like an actual oligarch party starts, well, we know they're going to win, for one, because they're going to just dump money into the election. That also means working class parties would develop in grassroots on their own. Or you'd be able to take over the Democrats and Republicans.
This is true. Because a lot of the oligarchs would leave there and go to that third party, and then that would create more division. And where there's a third party, that gives room for more parties. That is true. And
we're on the grounds to seeing political instability for sure. And I for one am welcome to it.
Oh, political instability. Oh, light the powder keg, baby. Let's do this shit.
Oh yeah, no, I am totally down for it. Keep the people entertained. I gotta go take my dog out. He's whining.
Oh, poor Pepperonis is whining.
Actually, I actually have to discipline him because there was an accident. The door is wide open, so he did it just to be a prick.
Oh, yep. Make sure to mute your mic for that. What's up, chat? By the way, are we not supporting the fucking Griffno State right now? Listen, if you're not with the Griffno State, you're a terrorist to the Griffno State. You understand what I'm saying right now? Support the Griffno State. We're growing fast. Any amount of money will get you some big booty bitches shaking their ass. Support the Griffno State. Give us some fucking money so we can reinvest it into Flo's cancer. All right? Give us some fucking money. I do think that for sure a third party would be very viable within the United States, but I think it might have to have a lot of backing. I think that's the problem. It's just going to have a lot of fucking backing. So it's just going to have to have a lot of backing, and I just don't know if we're ready for that yet or not. I think these two parties are going to just sink their fucking claws down in the ground and just be extremely, because we've seen it with the Libertarians. The Libertarians couldn't do it. The Libertarians were psyoped with a lot of really, really retarded shit too. So, sorry, don't mind me. I gotta speed past this truck real fast because he's fucking going super slow, like an idiot. But yeah, I mean, It's really just a matter of can grassroots really do it? Can grassroots absolutely tear down the two-party system, create a third party, and actually make positive political change within the U.S.? Like, if there was a positive and an actual third party that could do it, I would 1,000% sign up. I'd be a campaigner. I would be fucking moving that goalpost for the next political age of the United States. But I just don't fucking see it happening as of right now, and I'm definitely not going to create it. So,
but we are on our way to political instability.
oh yeah.
Well, and the time is there.
But I just don't fucking see, like, I just don't see it happening. Here's my thing, right? It would almost have to be.
You see this meme?
Yeah. Elon does ketamine.
Trump on ESPN. No, here's the thing, right? There will be no collapse like a la Soviet Union. America's institutions are too strong. There will be chaos and social disorder until a strong man is either elected or takes over.
Oh yeah, no, it's fucking just like Rome. Like, everyone thinks the fall of Rome happened in a day. The fall of Rome took like 30 fucking years to even fall, and it was fucking way destabilized before that too. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! What's up, Nightish? Boobies!
Yeah, damn right.
What's up?
Damn fucking right.
What's up, the Midwestern Request?
Check your Cash App. Make sure that no one sent you a fucking Cash App, because I shilled the Griffno State, and if no one is supporting the Griffno State, what's the frame? If you're not with us, you're against us.
Don't be an enemy of the state, support the Griffno State.
Exactly.
This post actually pisses me off because I seen somewhere, and I haven't seen it recently, but I seen an Elon tweet where it said they were going to dismantle the rockets that they were paid to use because Trump said something about Elon, and then now you see Team America and the rockets.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, I got mad, so I'm gonna fucking dismantle all of the rockets that the United States government paid for me to make. Because that makes fucking sense, right?
Elon actually makes a good point here, though. Right here, specifically.
I'd read it out?
It wasn't Elon, it was Ron Paul. I'd vote for it if we got real spending cuts, but this bill is the largest debt increase in U.S. history, $5 trillion. That's like giving your 16-year-old credit card and watching them rack up $2K on booze and gambling, then raising their spending limit to $10K. Irresponsible. That reminds me of something that I can't share. That reminds me of something I can't share on that I saw on Facebook Reels last night when I was about to take a nap in between streaming. And it was parents. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen? It was a guy apparently talking about his son, about how he got his son a credit card, and his son, essentially his son thought it was free money and racked up his deal, and now he gets shell shocked whenever he sees a bank. And the dad basically let the kid be in debt, didn't help him find a job, didn't do anything, right? And like all these people are turning that on. I'm like, you didn't teach your child financial responsibility, and now you're kind of laughing that your child is fucked over before they're even in their 20s financially. Like this is kind of why I actually am not on the pro-America train, because it doesn't matter what political ideology people have. You see that's rife in American culture.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to teach my kid. I'm not going to teach my kid financial responsibility and let him learn the hard way and make him go in fucking financial debt instantly.
Why are we having to import Infinity Foreigner and why aren't people having kids? Why is the economy dying? It's individualism is all great and good in principle until you realize when you have 300 million individuals doing dumb shit and you see how quickly that individualism, quote unquote, affects society.
Yeah, every fucking time. It's mind-boggling, dude. It's mind-boggling. How many times do we have to see empires and civilization states fall apart the same fucking way before we start to learn from our mistakes, like humanity's mistakes? How many civilization states?
Bumpkin, I might be able to get rich though.
Oh my god, bro.
But I might be able to get rich though.
Speaking of getting rich, fucking support their Gryffindor state, all right? But anyways, back to socialism.
By the way, this is the tweet I was talking about. The easiest way to save money in our budget. Excuse me, let me do the term with the easiest way to save money in our budget. Billions and billions of dollars is to terminate Elon's government subsidies. They're huge, absolutely massive. Some would say even the biggest contracts the U.S. government has ever given to a personal citizen. I can always surprise Biden didn't do that. And then here's Elon's cucked reply. In light of President Trump's statement about cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. And then you see the Team America thing. Yo, what's up, the Midwest Request? What's up?
Hey, what's going on? Just thought I might check in and pop out and see what's going on.
I've seen you on chat. I've never talked to you on panel, Bubba. How you doing today? Yeah,
no, I'm good. Just on a long drive to Detroit, so might as well just get some talking in there. But yeah, it's something that's been bothering me, especially with this whole this race debate that's been kind of heating up, and collectivism versus individualism. Because I fully was bought into the whole liberalism thing. I was built for a while, and I lost that collective sense once I came to the right wing. And now I'm saying that's, although that was good, that is also a big impediment, because now we I'm looking at it well, this was actually an important thing for me to decollectivize from this weird group that I had no values to share with. But now the problem is that the right wants to be left alone, doesn't want to collectivize. So they're always being run roughshod over by the left that will lose their individuality, has no really self-governing if they want to be governed. You know what I mean? And we're kind of trapped.
Hold that thought for just a second. What's up, Caucasian Sasquatch? How you doing? What's up, Snowman? Y'all both can hit the panel. Go ahead, Midwest Request. Let's hear it. I'm liking where you're going so far.
Yeah, so, I mean, we don't have a big cultural pillar on the right that we could be well, this is what we're, rallying around. It's not religion, because we're constantly trying to, inflate the numbers with, all these different people. So we're integrating them into it. So Christianity's kind of on the side. It's not really the governmental institutions, because we could kind of see that they're not playing by the rules, or they're kind of obfuscating and and kind of leading us chasing shadows and ghosts pretty much. And nothing really actually manifests. It's just kind of more of the same, leaning to the left, more and more, just more capitulation. And I think Hood said it in his chat perfectly. We're all liberals pretending to be right.
Well, that's the truth in the modern world. If you are a member of the modern political paradigm and not completely removed from it, like Bumpkin and I, you're just a liberal, because everything in our modern world goes back to the halls and how much they cost, and before that, it goes to the French Revolution. You have right-wing liberals, and then you have left-wing liberals.
Yeah. Yep. And it's our entire political. Our
Go ahead,
entire
go ahead,
political diagram literally is just liberalism, right? Like, no matter what, both sides agree with liberal economics. No matter what, both sides agree with liberal liberal socialism, but not in the economic sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They believe in liberal social values. They believe in. Go ahead.
No, yeah, like what I've like, because I've been looking at this for probably since since Jordan Peterson came out. Like, I've been kind of like, when I seen that video of like that college student yelling at the professor, I think that was the point where I'm just like, what is this that I think I understand or that I'm a part of? So that's where I started off. But like, there is a break in like the narrative and like this idea that we have, because like I know the narrative, what they want me to believe, but when I look into it, it's just like, when the progressive movement started in the United States, and this was like Teddy Roosevelt, everything, like this was like the big change that was happening around the world, where like the empires were like knowing that there was more viable competition. Like, Germany was coming up, that France and England were going to war constantly, and there had to be the one to rule them all. And I think they kind of realized that the empire system was not going to be able to work because, there was too many competitors in Europe, and the empires weren't able to sustain it because now there was this new ideology that was forming in Russia to collectivize people and to decentralize power pretty much. And so was liberalism that ideal as well, because they knew that couldn't be sustained forever. Like, and you could say whatever you want about it, like whether it was a good or a bad thing. The thing is, like, that was just the evolution. And now we're at a similar point. I'm looking at it that we're like, well, even with the war, right? Like, these smaller countries are now challenging and completely blindsiding like superpowers. This is completely changing everything. Now it's just sort of like, low tech beats high tech, and then high tech beats low tech. And now
it's because we've embraced liberalism to our own default, right? We're such a diverse nation, and diversity is the metaphor for diversity is cracks in the dam, right? If you look at all these countries that are challenging America and looking like they're on a good path to at least be victorious, I'm sorry, not have total victory, but at least get what the majority of what they want, which is a multipolar world. They're all relatively homogenous. Look at Russia, look at China, look at Iran. And there's something to be said about that homogeneity in society. It's a strength. Diversity is not a strength, it is a weakness. It's literally, the part of the word in diversity is divide. If you are divided, you are easily conquered. So, and that's kind of an issue. That's
like,
kind of
I
the
don't see
issue
it.
that we've had.
I think that saying is often misinterpreted. If you look at that saying as an individual, from an individualist point of view,
go ahead.
Keep dividing yourself until you get to the square root of yourself, and that's where you will conquer. Yeah, like you're divided. If you ever heard of the battle within, no, you're an Orthodox Christian. You know the battle within between good and evil. You keep dividing yourself until you get to the square root of yourself, and that's where you conquer the conquest. I understand how it's meant on the exterior, on the outside, politically. Divide and conquer, you know what I mean? Yeah, you keep that group against that group, pit them against each other, and you rule them all. I understand that, but there is that can be mirrored, so you look at it from an individual point of view.
Well, see, the thing about it is... Go ahead, Bump.
Yeah, if you're talking about like the constant struggle and all of that, like the philosophical concept of like the Ubermensch from Nietzsche and the constant struggle and constantly refining yourself from a block of coal and the diamond and stuff like that. Yeah, like I fundamentally understand that. I understand what you're saying, right? You cannot be a leader if you individually are not well and sound, right? You cannot be a leader if you are not good on an individual basis, right? We don't just completely throw out individualism full-heartedly, right? Obviously, on like a personal basis, if you are not strong enough to control yourself, you cannot lead other people. Right? Fundamentally, we understand that.
Yeah, that's one thing that the right is really good at is like teaching you like how to like master yourself away from the group and like finding yourself. Like at least like in the left, they strongly reject that notion. They want you to blend into the group to where like the group could actually control you through incentives and business incentives.
I've promoted what's up, chat? I've promoted individualism like for as long as I've known about it, really, the philosophy of as an individualist. And I often say that right wingers, those that promote right wing ideology, can survive in my realm as an individualist. You know, keep their head above water, float for a bit longer than anyone on the left, right? Yeah, because the right want as little government as possible to regulate their lives. They need the law, they need the army, they need borders and all that. I get it, right? Yeah, but they want the government out of their life when it comes to what they say, what they do, what they drink, what they eat, and how they live their life. Similar to the left, but the left absolutely need government. They can't survive in the realm of an individualist for more than a few seconds. But the right can only survive for so long. As soon as you start educating them about, it doesn't really matter who you vote for, you agree to it all, and it basically makes you a slave and all this jazz right there. They start to like, you start to see how similar the right are to the left when it comes to all this game, really.
Well, the thing is, at the end of the day, individualism is flawed and collectivism is also flawed. There has to be a middle ground and some give and take in all of it. And the problem that we have is there's no such thing as a too small or too large government. You have the size of the government that you require or that you allow, right? It's one or the other. If you allow there to be a bloated, corrupt, oligarchical system, that's on you as the citizenry, and you have no one to blame but yourself. And if you try to restrict your government to where it can't do the job necessary to govern, that is also on you as the citizenry. You have no one to blame but yourself. See, the thing about it is, these are all talking points. So you rah, small government. Here's the thing about being a small government. If you're a small government, it means you're small territory, you're small time. Your bureaucracy and the size of your government will reflect the size of your nation. And 9 times out of 10, larger nations need more government. It's a pipe dream.
But I understand. No, it's not a pipe dream. I understand where you're coming from. You're looking at it. Could everybody be an individual and promote individualism? No. Look at it like a nature program. You've seen those Attenborough things, tigers, lions, and all the wildlife. It's no different. The weak justify the strong in all walks of life. There are a certain sect of people that are naturally want to be governed and controlled, be told what to do. They've got no sense of direction. They need instruction. These people will exist regardless. So I understand if you're looking at individualism from a totalitarian point of view, where everyone has to be an individual, otherwise it's flawed. Yes, it's flawed, but that's not why it's not flawed, because of that. You have to accept individualism in the state of reality we all exist in. The weak justify the strong in all walks of life. Like every other aspect of nature programs, you're going to get the weak that wish to be governed. And those who are governed by individuals.
I absolutely do not believe that you're working for not being an individualist. Here's the thing: if me and 5 guys decide we want to take your shit, you're an individualist, and you don't have those connections, you don't have that organization. How are you going to stop us?
Right,
and that's the problem.
You're just talking about a physical thing. That's just talking about. Like, I've just said the weak.
It's not.
Let me answer you.
It's not just a physical thing, though. It's economic.
It is.
It's economic. It's science. It's research.
No. You had to invoke power in numbers. Right? Yeah. You didn't make it a one-on-one fair, and you had to invoke numbers to overpower me.
Life isn't fair.
Right. I know. So let me respond to your argument. it was a physical argument, and I agree. Right, like the weak justify the strong in all walks of life. You can get a gang of people together and commentate my shit, and there'd be very little I could do about it because I can't. There's only so many men I can fight off. Unless I barricade myself in and do some sort of king and castle shit, then maybe I might be able to do it. But eventually, barbarians will come in and knocking at the gate. I get that, but when I say the weak justify the strong in all walks of life, that includes intellectually as well. Have my stuff. I'll give it to you if you're desperate enough for it. Have it. It's mere material stuff for me, and I. All of a sudden, now you're the weak and I'm the strong. You don't need to take it from me. I'll give it to you.
Here's the intellectual example. Let's say you and I are having a race for the bomb, right? Circa the 1940s. And let's say we live on a fictional planet, right? If you have a bunch of isolated scientists who are not interested in working together because they want the fame, glory, and profit from developing this weapon first, versus an organized state that has several large teams or several teams similar in size to yours, they're all working together, sharing information. Who do you think is going to develop the bomb first? It's all, here's the thing. It's all a numbers game. This individuality hoo-ha, it's naturally flawed. Humans are social herd creatures.
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. It's intellectual and physical. I mean, Einstein is as good as any war criminal, if you look at it like that. I mean, like but he was under threat of duress or force or something like that, wasn't he? Like in order to assist. So, the Nazis and whatnot. So I understand your point, but it's a bit from column A and a bit from column B. If you've got the brains and the brawn, then you're a formidable force. I mean, surely
there is a blind side of like people that are strong individualists on the right. If they don't want to come down from their holy mountain or just solitude and share the insights with other people. And like spaces like this and like conservative and other places, I'm starting to see that like, yeah, people are coming, from their individualistic success, right? And they're sharing what they learned, and they're even helping me kind of like shape out even some ideas that I've kind of struggled with and everything else like that. So it's just like, well, now I have deeper insights that I couldn't get from traditional media, or there's the interaction of it too.
That's what I mean. Capitalism involves socialism, doesn't it? Someone makes millions, tells you how they did it.
Hold on a second. Let me address him. Here, and let me also address you. Here's the thing, right? In a proper functioning society, not an individualistic one, those men who would typically be your individualists would be the leaders of that society. Because the desire for individualism is typically found in those who are actually make strong leaders. The problem is this individualism has been pushed to take away the leaders to have a strong society. That's why it gets pushed on the smartest people, on the most successful people. Because if you don't have these people leading, they're not a threat to the status quo. That's the issue. Now I understand.
Let me know when you land your plane. Yeah. So.
Here's the thing about individualism versus collectivism. Purely collectivism is also flawed. Take, like you said, a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. You have to have both, because in a society, or the society that I want, you are only as strong as the weakest link, right? So each person is responsible for making themselves strong, but they also have a community to lean in onto to help them get there. Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay, well, you are right. It's a bit from column A and column B, and there has to be both. But in order for and I'm glad you've conceded to that. You agree that individualism isn't flawed. Collectivism is individualism, because let me land my plane. Society doesn't actually exist as a thing, right? It's a concept. You are putting concepts on top of concepts, right? Yeah, in order to justify the concept underneath it. Whereas individuals, what you and I, whatever the fuck we are going down that philosophical route, We are actual things. The individuals is all there ever will be. You know, the individual man, woman. Let me land my plane. The individual man, woman, and family, and the wider community, etc. Your notion of whatever society is exists in your head and your head alone. Doesn't exist in the next man's. And even if it did, you wouldn't be able to prove it was identical to the one that you think it is. So anyone that uses notions of society to substantiate their arguments in regards to whether individualism is flawed or not is acting fallaciously or giving a fallacious argument, should I say.
One, you need to understand that we're not debating. This is a morning show. Two, you're free to be here and say what you want. You can disagree.
I'm not. Right? I'm just having a chat. I just want you to it's not a debate. Here's the thing, right? It's still fallacious reasoning. I'm not trying to get one up on you. Society is a concept. There is a distinction between claims of fact and claims of value, and society is a claim of value which doesn't.
Here's the thing, right? Society exists even if it's the smallest thing. My family unit is still a tangible thing. It is a tangible thing. That's not an idea in my head.
No.
Just like me being an individual man is not an idea in my head.
All concepts are ideas in your head. The notion of society, you can't.
Society is not a concept. We have been tribal creatures since our inception.
Society is a concept. Doesn't exist.
Humans
only in the mind. Exist in the minds of men and women, and so it exists in the minds of man, and that alone. Ideas, concepts are ideas that exist in the mind and the mind alone, like mathematics. Doesn't exist in the observable nature.
Individuality exists in your mind alone. So
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm an individual that's here. I can separate myself from the earth by jumping up from it. I am free, regardless of what words are ascribed to me and or any other physical things in these worlds. Right? Yeah, claims of fact. Mm-hmm. They exist regardless of any notional thought being put upon them. That's what you and I are. Society, however, is an idea that exists only in the mind. It doesn't exist in the tangible world.
Why don't you separate yourself from society? We can do a thought experiment.
I can do. I've just done it now. I don't belong to any society that I don't agree.
No. I mean totality. In totality, separate yourself from contact with your fellow man. Separate yourself.
But again, this is your notion of what society is.
No, but that's a definition of what society is.
It's your idea of what society is. It's like it doesn't exist in my mind. It's what if you don't believe in society exists, then cut yourself off from everything. Don't have contact. But this is your idea of what society
that's what society is. It doesn't exist. Society physically is.
Let me step in real quick.
It's your place. It's your place within your tribal unit, which has always existed and will always
exist. Tangible. There's a distinction between claims of fact and claims of value, right? Yeah. And society is a claim of value, and value.
Society is a claim of fact.
It's a claim of value.
My brother in Christ, you have a mother and you have a father. That is your society in its smallest form.
No.
Yes.
No.
So you came from a single-celled organism and you just split via mitosis.
But again, right? Let me land my plane. I need to give you the equation. You're not getting it, right? Yeah? There are claims of fact and there are claims of value, right? Yeah? Claims of fact, like a rose. Shakespeare hinted on this in when he claimed a rose. What's in a name? A rose by any other would still smell as sweet. Right, so it doesn't matter what words you put on a rose. We can call a rose a piece of shit. It would still be a rose, and it still smell nice. It would still be whatever it is, whatever mankind decides to call it. Right now, that's a fact. These are claims of fact. Whatever a rose is, and whatever we call it, is a fact because it doesn't matter what we call it; it will exist anyway. And that's the same with me, whatever I am, and you, my fellow brother in Christ. Right, yeah,
and you're
right, and these are. Let me land my plane. 30 more seconds. These are claims of fact that exist regardless. Now, there's claims of value, like if you've got a mum and a dad and a brother and sister and a wider community, that's a society. Well, if you call that a society and the function of it and the rank and file and everything, right? Yeah, now these are claims of value that only exist in the minds of the people that agree to it. It's not actually tangible like me and the rose. And claims of value cannot and do not solely derive from the fact. facts. They are concepts, ideas of mankind during our adventures on here, right, making it up as we go along, ascribing words to these facts and factors at play, right? Yeah. But they're not actual facts themselves, right? Yeah, these notions and ideas of what society is or is not an actual fact, like what I am, what you are, or what a rose is. Right, yeah.
Did you know that you're a metaphorical concept? I don't have a mom. You know that? You're a metaphorical concept. You're not my society. My family unit doesn't exist.
But again,
an individual.
You're substantiating my point that your notion of society and the next man's is completely different. You will never ever have and never could prove that you have the same identical notion.
It's not about some fucking intellectual esoteric butthole sniffing. A society is a collective of human beings that work together. That is a tangible thing. Your family unit works together for survival. You have a mother, you have a father, and under normal circumstances, you will be there. It is outliers that makes that family unit not happen. If you were 10,000 years ago in the past, under normal circumstances, you would have that tangible familial connection, and you would work together as a society to survive. Now, if your family died, typically you would die, depending if you were, 5 or 10 and not old enough to know how to survive on your own. That's the thing. If you had a mother if you had a mother and a father who, unless you just split from a single cell mitosis type thing, you are like,
I don't mean to be rude. Wrong. My fellow brother in Christ, I don't mean to be rude. As a metaphysician, I've tried to explain the distinction between claims of fact and claims of value to you, and how, logically, you cannot derive a claim of value solely from a fact. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I understand what you're saying and the principal basic definitions of what society is and isn't. I know the definition of what society is in the English language. I'm letting you know that it's a claim of value that isn't a claim of fact. It doesn't actually exist other than in the minds of man. If you disagree with that, that's fine. You can have a disagreement. However, it's you're operating outside the realms of logic. I mean, like, I know we're not debating. I'm a logical man. I'm a logical man. I try and remain logical.
That's illogical. That's an illogical statement. You literally cannot exist without a group of people. Your mother and your father are more than two. They're more than two. They're more than two individuals. All right.
I know better. So if you want to debate on it, we'll have a debate on it. We'll set it up. No, not here and now. Yeah. We'll set up a formal debate on it. Is society tangible?
I told you I'm not going to debate you. There's no point in debating debate.
Yeah, well, I know you're wrong categorically. You are categorically wrong, and if you're my fellow brother in Christ, you need to get off this path as quickly as possible. Don't learn this shit from me, because you've obviously got some sort of bias and resentment towards me. Go and learn.
I don't resent you. I just don't debate bros, because the whole point
you're wrong.
Don't actually have any belief. You don't have any belief systems. You just want to debate for the sake of debating.
No, I don't. I told you I promote and endorse individualism, and I'm a metaphysician. I deal in the first principles of things and concepts. Society is a concept. It's an idea that exists solely in the minds of men.
We're gonna move on from here, because
let's move on.
And we are engaging in mental masturbation, and that's not what this is about.
Isn't that what this is about? No, just having a chat about politics and stuff.
It's not necessarily politics. It's news, joking around. It's like a morning talk show.
Okay, well, I'm new to your channel. I'm just learning what's happening. This is just who I am. This is me. I'm a logical man. I'm a metaphysician.
You're welcome, but you're welcome, but you got to leave your debate tactics behind when you're up here, at least for the morning show.
I'm not trying to debate you. I'm trying to educate you, because you seem to be misguided in your.
And when I'm educated in my way of thinking, and you try to change my mind by educating me in your way, that is inherently a debate. So we're not going to
agree to disagree.
Let's agree to disagree then. Let's move on. What do you think of this fat statue in front of you? Does it represent anything? Is this AI art taking over?
No, this is a real statue, I believe, in Times Square.
Yes, but it's not of a real person. It's not of a real man or woman, is it? It's a made-up individual.
Holy fuck. Hey, I just saw I just saw this thing. I just saw this thing on the side of the road. I don't know what it. I mean, I know the name for it's not real. I know plants like aren't real either, because those are like made up concepts by man. I don't know. It's like it's green and it's tall. I don't know what that is though. Kind of crazy.
Why is he dragging it back up? Why is he dragging it back up? I thought we agreed to move on. If you want me to slap you about, I will. But let's move on. Let's respect the channel and the host.
But funnily enough, Bumpkin, similar to that, I was telling my best friend, right? I was explaining to him that trees don't exist. And he looked at me like I was stupid. I'm like, I don't mean what we call a tree doesn't exist. But I'm like, you see that tree and that tree, two totally different species, not even in the same category of plant.
Yes, like fish. Right? There's no such thing as a fish.
Yeah.
Every single marine, every single aqua marine animal is unique and individual. There's no such thing as a fish, a group of like what we call fish. Every single species of, in fact, according to marine biology, right, every single aquatic animal and microorganism in the ocean has more in common with a counterpart above water on land than it does with its fellow counterparts in the ocean. That is amazing. Go and look it up. That's an amazing.
No, I believe you, because like that's one of the things that I do love about the people on this panels. Like they are on YouTube, because they are usually very educated.
That made my hair. When I found out, my hair stick up on my arm. I did.
Yeah,
when I first found out,
it just shows you the greatness of nature and the glory of God.
Absolutely.
To be honest, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome how that works.
Absolutely,
like,
brother.
It's dumbfounding, to be honest.
Like literally talking about it now is bringing goosebumps up on my arm, hair's tingling. Like someone mentioned a blade of grass a minute ago. If you can't see God everywhere, wherever you look, and intelligent design, then you are so lost. You are so lost.
And that is something that we can agree on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Praise God. Thank you for bringing that. Thank you for giving that example as well, EB3, and wording it like that.
You're more than welcome.
But let's talk about this statue, right? And I do think you are right. I think it is an AI image that they turned around and put into a sculpture. I'm not exactly sure, because I haven't come across who they supposedly based this over.
Yeah, they don't actually exist. It's not an actual person.
Well, they put several, and I find it funny, they put several of these statues, not in Africa, but around America and Europe for some reason. But you don't see them in Africa. It's kind of wild to me.
Amazing.
And the reception from the African American community and the black community so far that I've seen, they are not a fan of the big fat black chicks in Times Square. They prefer the statues they put up in Europe, because the ones they put up in Europe were actually like slender women that were kind of similar, kind of attractive.
Yo, EAE, look at my recent video on CT. Get some lore.
So, why do y'all think they put these statues up? I gotta get y'all. We've got to have a little conspiracy theory hour.
They like to do stuff to
stirring the racial
pot. Honestly, yeah, they like to do stuff that specifically will stir the racial pot, especially in like majority European descendant places. They like to do that. They like to stir the fucking racial pot. Like, to do this at this time with everything that's going on, it's like they just want to stir the pot, bro. They really just want to stir the fucking pot. I guarantee you, if you looked into this artist,
yeah, and I think like the more that they do this stuff, though, I think they're trying to put a hamper, or at least like a kind of like a pin on the white collectivist movement. That I have questions about that, and that's kind of why I'm here. But like, I'll let Bumpy continue.
Yeah. Well, obviously, right? They try to put a stamp on white collectivism, right? I'll be real with you. On specifically white collectivism, they do stuff like this but at the same time, everything they try to do does the exact opposite. It's like, imagine being a white dude walking down the street and seeing this and being like, I don't relate to this. Like, no one around me relates to this. No one in my family relates to this. This is just more tribalism.
Black
from a
people don't
different
even
group of
relate
people.
to this.
Am I
I
banned
know.
from typing on your channel?
Shouldn't be.
Mine? Yeah, you shouldn't be.
There's one of the months got
I
a bit of a thing for me.
try to comment. Try to comment if you are.
I have a few times now, 3 times.
I don't even see it in my chat where it's like blocked.
Yeah,
Try to do it one more time.
Yeah.
And if you are, I'll unblock you.
yeah, I'm there now. Yeah, it's cool. I can do
Yeah,
it.
no, I didn't see it. I see it now, but I didn't see where you even tried. Like I scrolled up to the very top because I haven't set the live chat, but you're there now. No, I mean, I did have somebody who was not a mod want to get mod because they wanted to get you and Dr. Chink out of here yesterday when y'all were squaring up. What was up with that?
Yeah, so I apologize for that. I was just lying here to 2 a.m. innit, and your live come on. I put it on my phone, my headphones on, and then I was just chatting with you, and then I saw Chin. I just got beef with these. You're about panel law. I got beef with these individuals. That's all in it. And then when I saw him, I just thought I'd call him out in chat whilst I was there. I didn't mean to spice up your chat. I didn't mean for it to escalate the way it did, man. I just meant to call him a rat and move on. That was all.
Well, that's fair. I didn't know what was going on. I got told afterwards by a friend that y'all was in the chat showing out. They were like, "Let me get mod because they're saying some stuff that might be TOS." And I'm like, "Okay," and that's why I was questioning it because they didn't have mod, and I didn't put a ban on you, but you're there now, so.
No respect, man.
This is actually if y'all don't, I'm not gonna share right now, but I'm gonna drop this link in chat. If y'all want to watch this truism video that I was on, I had a discussion with Trey about what is race and is it real. And I think this is a very good discussion between me and Tracy. 2 black men speaking about what is race. For those of you who don't know, I'm making that joke because I quite frequently get called a black man on these panels. Even though I'm a white man and a former white nationalist. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this going forward.
Hey.
Because Truism was asking some very good questions, and I think Trey and I had.
He accidentally double booked. All right, firstly, want to invite you and welcome each and every one of you to what I hope will be a long running series of conversations on this channel called Discourse After Dark. Welcome to that. Welcome to this. Thank you very much for coming out for this.
By the way, this was not a debate, even though it seems like one. It was just me and Trey having a discussion. And I personally think if you got 2 hours and you working or something, you want a good conversation between 2 people that have similar views but are on fundamental disagreement about the topic, you should definitely check out Truism channel. Like I said, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play his opening. I'm going to play mine and his opening, and that's going to be it. You'll have to go to Truism's channel for the rest of it.
I have on my left side here, the Orthodox guy. Could you introduce yourself to everyone here who may not know who you are?
Hi, I am Orthodox Guy. I'm a content creator, and I like to think that I am an acquaintance or friend of Truism. The echo does go away, by the way. In BT, I like to think so. Yo, what's up, Crow? I'm gonna play the opening. You can hit the panel if you want to, by the way. Everybody is welcome. Hey, Distant Lights, how you doing? Ghostface Chris, and of course, Truism. I'm playing the opening because I really do like the conversation me and Trey had. And again, if y'all like this opening that I'm eventually gonna play, please hit that link and go watch this video. Give us a subscribe and a like to the video for Truism.
I appreciate the invite on being on the conversation on the channel.
All right. And on my right, we have Trey, the NBD. If you have not known about him, you will know about him today. Introduce yourself, good brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? Trey the MBD here, the infamous one. Hey, just come through to have a good conversation, man, with the homies. So, yeah, let's have some fun. I'm on my iPad, bro, so I'm gonna try and send my logo to myself so I can put it up here. I think the echo, man, it's like when your mic is unmuted.
Oh, and that's the reason why I'm in this particular instance. I'm not going to be doing much of the talking. So, with that being said, tonight's conversation is race. What is it, and is it real? So, we will have the opening question. This is going to be more of a conversational, kind of a debate going back and forth. I'll let you guys kind of riff on the whole conversation. I will move it along from question to question. And it's basically just going to be kind of more of a free-flowing type of thing. Good kind of conversation so everybody can get a good idea what everybody thinks about this. So, with the opening question, I will put forth this. What is race? In as much as you understand it, feel free to discuss.
Would you like to go first, Trey?
No, go first, man. I'm gonna upload my logo to my iPad, so you could chime in first while I do this.
All right, first things first. Everybody hit that like button, show support. Hit the Cash Apps and all the various donation links. Support the Griffno State. We don't want an ethno state around here. YouTube needs to be a Griffno State. So as far as race, I'm concerned about race because we all know that I am a National Socialist and a former white nationalist. Race is the grand total biological relation between ethnic groups, and they have certain dividing lines divided by genetics, and those genetics are typically divided by a geographical region, and they typically are those genetics are typically indicators for things such as the ability to think abstractly. There are a lot of medical issues that you can get from your genetics, your shared genetics. Specifically, a lot of Europeans, if they bleed, they typically bleed out quickly because they have thin blood. With African Americans or sub-Saharan Africans, you typically have a sickle cell. I don't know much about Asians or Middle Easterners. I'm just giving some very broad examples. You have genetics that affect not just skin color, but IQ, bone density, that sort of thing. That's just my understanding of it. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I have a very basic understanding of race. I do believe that it is real. I don't believe it is a social construct. I believe that it is fundamental to our evolutionary niches. I don't think that it's something that you should sit around and say you're superior because of your genetics. That means you have a specific evolutionary niche that you come from. So,
I was trying to give Trey time to get done with what he was doing is why I was sitting there rambling, because a lot of these questions could be answered in 2 or 3 sentences that Truism asked. Both of us, it was the discussion about our beliefs that is the most impactful. Again, please go give this a view and a like if you have time, and just subscribe to Truism in general.
I think that about covers the for my part.
Yeah, and coming from the same vein, as y'all know, I'm a extreme American nationalist, and just like Orthodox guy, I believe in National Socialism as well. One of my favorite people from history, Uncle H, Mustache Man. For those who don't know, that the National Socialism term was mainly a troll at the people that wear the small hats. It's just mainly about just keeping your resources within the nation, national pride, nuclear family, singular homogenous culture, all of that. So me and Orthodox agree on that. Where I disagree with Matt when it comes to race is this: I do believe that race is in fact a social construct. It's, in my opinion, that somewhere along the line, a century and a half ago, or whatever, around the time of the French Revolution, whenever one of these huge events where earthquakes, volcanoes, all this came.
By the way, Truism, you were hit with a super special mod. You're not just any mod, you are a advanced moderator in my chat.
A certain group of people basically.
I will address this. I will address this after this clip because it does kind of hit pretty hard to home.
Took control of our planet, of all the major nations, especially in Europe, started colonizing all over the world, colonizing in a good way. And one of the things they established was this thing called race. And they established it, I believe they established it to maintain control, kind of similar to what, takes place within the U.S. prison system. Best way to keep, the prisoners in check and keep them at each other's throats. However, the problem comes into be is that the whole skin color game just means absolutely nothing as you travel around the world, as I've done. And, I'll get into it further, but in my opinion, it's always been about culture, multiculturalism, and the race, and that race is just a subset of feminism, which is a subset of communism.
While I can respect where you're coming from, I look at race because you have two subcategories, or a subcategory under race, which is ethnicity, and that is typically where you get your more definition of genetics, right? Germans are slightly genetically different than Anglo-Saxons and the like. Slavs are slightly genetically different than Germans. Italians are slightly genetically different, but they are more genetically similar to each other than they are, say, sub-Saharan Africans or East Asians. And that's where the context of race comes from as I look at it. And while I do disagree that race is more than just skin color, it is the totality of your genetic makeup. Again, I will say I don't think that it is the basis of superiority. I think that each individual ethnicity and each individual nation is superior, and it takes a group effort to be superior. There is no reason that I, as a white man and a ethnic supporter of my own people, should deny Trey or Crow the opportunity to grow and benefit to our society, because we are a multi-ethnic society in the U.S. Now, if I was German in Germany, and it was supposed to be an ethnic state, then I would have that right. But at the same time, there's always an argument to be made that we should take in the best and brightest, because I am a eugenicist at heart as well. So,
yeah, and I agree with you on a lot of that. One distinction for me is that the culture and the behavior of, you take certain groups, within what has been listed as race, and their behavioral, educational levels, certain makeups make them more in line with what we are typically referred to as Aryans. The folks who went around the world and got rid of the savages in the world, those who brought religion throughout the world. And honestly, my true belief is that before, those people, and I'm gonna keep Atrism's channel safe here and just refer to them as those people, introduced this racial concept, I believe that it was, people of all, skin color, skin tones, that instituted this Aryan way of living across South America, across, South Africa, North Africa, a lot of Eastern Africa, Asia. They brought these, the religions. It just, and it is documented as far as like, Europeans of more melanated Europeans coming in and introducing not just, the lighter Europeans, but more melanated, introducing more Aryan beliefs. And, these people, not to be confused with those people, but the Aryans I'm referring to, they're the ones that civilized the world. And I truly don't believe that, it was all, the unseasoned, as, the community would say in 2025.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about culture. And that's all you get on my channel. Please go if you enjoyed that conversation. Please, or you were intrigued by that conversation, I'd say, please go hit that link and watch on Truism's channel. Give it a like and a comment and share it around. I do think that me and Trey had a great conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But so I'm gonna shield the Cash App real quick, because I wouldn't be doing my duty to the Griffno State if I did. By the way, this is defunct. We do have a new. We have reached our goal. We have a new mic, a soundboard, and a mixer. Congratulations! Let's go.
Woo! Respect to you, man. You're getting up in the game. Yo, I've just sent you some in private chat if you want to show it, man. It was a great seg to follow on that little conversation you just had with that guy. I mean, you don't have to show it if you don't want to, but like these are legitimate, official landmark papers, studies, peer reviewed, everything, all the trimmings, the works.
I will. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to go over them because we're
just for you then.
But no, I will definitely drop them in chat because I don't want to try to censor information.
I just don't understand how race quote doesn't okay. Everything is a categorical human identifier, whether it's mathematics, genetics, geographics. It's all just a human abstract identifier, correct?
Yeah, race is based upon mankind's primitive observation.
Okay, and so is anything else. Our understanding of genetics or humanity or biology is based off our rudimentary understanding of things.
Sure.
So the idea that race doesn't exist is just saying that you are not accepting a categorization that human beings have developed, just like height.
No. In the medical industry, let me have 30 seconds. Let me have 30 seconds. In the medical industry, have known this for about 100 years. But for instance, Imperius, the undefeated, right? Yeah, if say you had a daughter, right? Yeah, your daughter would be a perfect bone marrow transplant for some Aborigine in Australia somewhere. Like that's more closer than anyone in your family. What they found is that people from all different subsects have more in common with someone outside of their own subsection than they do with their immediate family. That's why they haven't been able to prove it until recently.
Incorrect.
It's not incorrect.
And I'll tell you why. I'll give you one example.
It's been medically proven.
No, it isn't. And I'll give you an example why. If you have a kid and your kid's mixed, you can't donate anything to your kid.
Yeah, and you see all this mixed stuff. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so
genetics.
No, sir. Counter what I just said.
No. All right, I will.
Okay, I'm not EV3. It's too early. I'm not going to yell at you right now. If you want to spurt out and act like a woman, shut the fuck up and go to another show.
You're the one spoken.
No, sir. I came up here and asked a simple question.
Stop talking over everybody, man.
You have autism and you have some type of hypo. You have.
Gentlemen, this is not the time nor the place. We are not going to debate. We're here to talk about the morning, have a good time, laugh and joke around. All right, I'm gonna bring y'all back up, but y'all gonna have to chill.
Look, man, I'm having a smoke.
There's no debate. I asked a simple question.
I don't like being spoken over when I'm talking. That's all.
You've been talking for the last how many hours? I came up and asked one question. If
I haven't been talking at all.
if science supports what you're saying, why, if I have a mixed kid, can I not donate anything to my kid?
Again, science has proven, right, that individuals within subsects have more genetically in common with someone outside. It's more probable that they have something genetically more in common with someone outside of their subsect than they do within it. That's why family members, right, I've got kids in hospital right now, and none of them are a perfect donor or a match for their own children. They have to wait for somebody else somewhere else in the world. And do you know what? Sometimes they are, if they're rich enough, right, these organs and that are flown in from like places like Russia, Ethiopia, where other parts of the world, from people outside of their subsect. If this is a genetic
give me a second.
certainty.
Give me a second.
See, he rambles for 5 minutes and I don't get to say anything, and then it's be quiet.
I'll let you make a rebuttal.
That
Jesus
wasn't 5
Christ.
minutes. That wasn't 5 minutes.
You can stay up here, Midwest, because you're being quiet. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Philip, with the $40 Cash App. We got the Whip It Go. Let's fucking go. I might have to do a Whip It stream. I'm joking. That money's going to be invested into something for the channel. Thank you, Philip. Thank you. You get some booty, sir. We are pimping around here. Oh, here you go. Right here. Let's do it.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, throw a straw and make you wanna dribble dribble. You know, riding in my beer, you really have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact, no slack. But luckily the knees go back. I got a net to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine.
I sit bruised from chalices, holding my palaces, gripping so crampy, sucking supper for paralysis. Rhymes, I ride them in the night.
Like I said, you can't. Parents that have, if that were true about families not being able to donate organs, bone marrow, blood, all that kind of stuff, that's who you get your organs from the majority of the time, is your genetic line. Okay, number one. Number two, race definitely plays a factor in the type of organs and donations. You're telling me that you believe that a white man in Europe should be waiting for a kidney from an African before a European, and the body would accept that kidney from an African before a European? That is insanity.
Right. You haven't finished. Okay. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I know for certainty genetics.
I don't care what you know.
Why are you speaking over me? Why are you speaking over me?
So you don't know
Why are you
anything.
speaking over me, faggot? Right, yeah, I know for certain genetics.
Whoa.
Try to isolate.
TOS. Oh, TOS. You can talk, but TOS. All right? TOS.
My question
Never
is who cares about what you know?
Nobody
Nobody cares about you. I make more money in a day than you make in a year, so I should have their.
Why are you speaking over me? Why are you speaking over me like a
No,
spur?
because I'm telling you, if you're going to come
I
in
listened
and say
to
I
everything
just
you had
know,
to say. I
then
listened to
I'm
everything
going
you
to be
had to
bad
say.
faith.
I listened to everything. You said, why? Like a child. You said, why? If this is true, why you didn't this? And I rather than answer you
Hold
like
on.
a petulant child,
Philip gave a massive donation. I think he wants some more booty. Is that what you're telling me? You want some more
give him
morning
the
booty?
booty. Give him the booty.
Well, it's up to him if he wants the
Alright.
booty again, he can get the booty. Just type yeah if you want me to play the booty again.
But before I slap Imperious about, I'll wait to see if he wants the booty or not.
Go ahead. I'll just play the video.
Regardless of what Imperious claims, I know for certain genetics as it stands today, this day, 2025, Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, Jesus Christ, genetics tried to isolate this supposed race gene in every perceived race known to man by genetically testing the skulls of them, and found out it doesn't exist. We're all related to one another, and at some point in history, there it is. End of fucking debate. Story
Okay,
conversation.
well, end of not debate. Bring a link up I just said about the National Organ Database and the donate. And what does it say? Ethnicity plays a major factor in ability to donate peripheral blood stem cells or bone marrow. That's the first sentence on the link. Please bring it up.
Do y'all want to have a debate on this?
God damn it, Orthodox fine. Just be fucking let the little fucking autist say whatever
I
he
didn't,
wants.
I didn't bring
You
his
let the autist talk literally. The most
I didn't bring up his stuff because this is not a debate today. This is my morning show. So I will post your link in chat just like I did his. If y'all want to have a debate later today, I will facilitate that.
I missed that. I had a business call, but I'm sorry about that. Because I know what they're getting at there. He's trying to redefine.
Let me play this video and I'm gonna bring them up.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. Folds, I like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure, maybe one a dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact. No slack, but luckily the things go back. I got a chance to relax my mind. Sipping something red wine.
I sit bruised from chalices, holding my palaces. Crib is so crampy, sucking supper for paralysis. Rhymes, I ride them in the car.
EB3 getting down. He getting down with it.
The fact is I am in no way, shape, or form involved in any N-worddom. Okay? And the fact is I have nothing in common. They were never my ancestor. They have nothing in common with me, and we're not related to them in anything. The fact that you want to sit there and propagate the biggest non-talk about thing, it's not the fact of HH that's the one thing you can't talk about in the world. It's that the races are completely different. And that's why you're so convinced of it, because you've been told. You won't look at the data itself. You'll just look at what people have told you and all the no. We don't categorize it. We just won't do it. Just because they don't do it because they know the entire freaking formation of academia is based off the idea that every race is the same. What about the replication process and the replication crisis in academia?
Psychobabble. I'm citing.
So the replication crisis doesn't exist in academia. Is that what you're saying?
I'm citing.
There are real realities. There is real realities when it genetically and environmentally. You can't tell me that somebody in the Iberian Peninsula is going to be exactly the same from somebody in Siberia.
I'm not saying that.
They're
exactly
cultural.
the same.
No, he's saying that everyone is one single unitary ancestor, and we're all united.
Nobody
said your biology is gonna accustom and shape to the environment that you're in, and then culturally you will develop instinctually different habits.
Well, when you start addressing
genetically, it'll start to express itself.
I'll be bothered
over time.
When you start addressing what I've said, I'll be bothered. I am quoting and citing.
See, he plays bad faith. You don't want me to be bad faith. He goes up here and says, "I just know because I know." Well, I make more money than you, and I know, so you can shut the fuck up.
That's not what I'm saying.
All right, gentlemen, we are moving on.
No, if you want to play bad faith, I'm the most bad faith person ever. You want to play bad faith? I can be the most bad faith person on the internet.
These two got to speak without me interrupting.
I'm not going to silence anyone, but
Let me have 10 seconds.
You have exactly 10 seconds, but after that 10 seconds, when I click share on this video, we're moving on from this debate.
Let me have 10 seconds uninterrupted. I'm not just saying I know because I know and that's it and you have to deal with it. I am saying I am citing and quoting genetics at a pinnacle level, which supersedes all the psychobabble he's citing. That's underneath it.
And I just cited the highest level of research. So go ahead and keep searching for your evidence.
No, you didn't.
All right, gentlemen, we are done with that. And we will not be moving back towards that. I will facilitate a debate later on today or towards the end of the show if y'all actually want to have that debate, because people seem to be interested in it and y'all seem to be passionate about it. So we will facilitate that. But let me get my banner on. I did some looking into the TOS.
Let's see if he runs or not.
I did some looking into the TOS. We can show war footage as long as it's not too gory. As long as we are giving
Ukraine or is this Israel?
This is Russia.
Oh, it's Russia. Inside Russia. Okay.
So today, what happened today is Russia retaliated and bombed. I forget what city. They bombed a city today with a missile, and Ukraine responded by, and this is the let me take down the banner for just. You have to have educated and you do have to have information. This is the Russia Ingalls 2 airbase oil refinery. It is on fire and it was struck by a drone attack today. So let me just get this banner back up. Viewer discretion advised. We are watching war footage for educational purposes and information shared verbally on stream because I do not feel like making 1,000,001 banners. There is no sound with this video. And it is, if you're looking for action, I'm not too comfortable showing firefights that end in KIA, but we will be watching firefights as well. Again, this is for viewer discretion. This is viewer discretion advised. We are watching war footage for educational purposes and information only. So again, this is the Russian Eagles Air Force oil refinery that had been struck by a Ukrainian drone. You can see how bad it is right now. Greta Thunberg is not going to be happy about this. Jesus, that damage. That's crazy. Let's see. There is some stuff about the Israel.
So wait, okay, so Russia hit back from that bombing for the planes, right? And now Ukraine hit Russia back today. Is that what happened?
Well, okay. No. So Russia hit in the morning for them today, right? And then later on in the day, Ukraine retaliated with more drone strikes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
So
yeah, I'm telling you, like, I would not be surprised if Russia just ends this and uses like a tactical nuclear weapon somewhere.
It's going all the way. It's going all the way.
Like, I mean, not a full nuclear, not an ICBM, but a tactical nuclear weapon. You know what I mean?
They load them so much.
Oh, absolutely. Here, I'm gonna have to take the banner down. Y'all can talk after. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to talk. But this video here is a Russian attack on a Ukrainian jet repair site. Moscow claims that it has destroyed Ukrainian military targets somewhere in Ukraine. It does not give the time. It does not give the location. But y'all go ahead and finish what y'all were saying. I'm gonna put this banner back up.
No, I was saying I think a tactical nuclear weapon will be used. I just think Russia's getting tired of fighting the entire West and the West entering and keeping Ukraine propped up to endlessly keep going. And I think once a tactical nuke is used, I don't
back. Yeah,
that goes really bad.
My bad. I'll just replay the video.
No, it's your show. I don't care. So you can do what you want. I was just saying, I definitely think though it's getting to that point where Russia is like, look, we're not going to keep grinding in the mill of throwing men out there because the problem is it's almost like trench warfare now. Every mile is kind of like a hardcore, brutal acquisition. You know what I mean? It's almost not worth the manpower that you're putting there. And once it's like that, and now with Russia's air superiority kind of taken out in a major way, I think Russia's going to be like, look, we're tired of this. We're just going to send a tactical nuclear weapon to some, I don't think a major city, but some defensive infrastructure somewhere or some frontline area or map. Like I could see them using some tactical nuke, not a full one, but like something where, 1 mile perimeter or something like that.
I fixed the Echo woman.
But yeah, I just, because I mean, look, they used that Urshiki missile or whatever about 6 months ago to show, hey, stop effing around. You know what I mean? And the West didn't take the hint, and especially with Germany now supporting Ukraine and giving them weapons to hit Russia inside of Russia, long-range missiles. I just think Russia has to just be like, finish this.
And I think Russia has been avoiding to use it because it doesn't want to be a global pariah. Because the propaganda, I could already see it if they do.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
It would be public relations corporate nightmare for them.
The Ukraine have been known as neo-Nazis in England for the last 20 years until recently, and now forced support is being placed.
Yeah, now they're somehow good guys.
No, so I'm on the side of Russia. Russia should just wipe them off the face of the earth.
Well, they should have wiped them out. Like, honestly, my thing, I mean, to me, look, Ukraine hit for, like, dude, the issue is always this. I always look at it in a very simple way. If you start shit, you don't get to say when shit stops.
And They're not even a legitimate government. As far
A
as I'm
nation.
concerned.
Yeah, we overthrew them.
Yes, you know what happened under Obama, don't you?
Yeah, we overthrew. What's his name? Vershednik.
It's a coup. Yeah, the president run away. Had to go to Russia.
Well, and not just that, but Joe Biden then was the one that got the that withheld the $2 billion aid if they didn't kick off the prosecutor that was investigating his son at Burisma.
Yeah, for all those in the chat don't know, imagine January the 6th really happened and all the officials ran away and the people surrounding the buildings forced the legislators to write the law basically at gunpoint or threat of force. Otherwise, we're going to fuck you up. That's what happened in Ukraine. And somehow the rest of the world is being told, no, you got to accept these as a legitimate government. It is a legitimate government. They ran away fair and square. What?
Yeah, and we flew them out. No, we got them out of there.
See, Imperius, we may disagree on some things, but we're gonna
we know what's going on. If you're dude, people think there's like, dude, our paws are in everything. People forget like the US is like this innocent thing. Our fucking mitts are in everything. And that's why so many people hate us. We need to be more discerning on what we get involved in. That's the problem. Everyone's tired of the US getting involved, and 50% of the time we F it up.
But
we're breaking through that blue pill mentality that we've always and forever have fought on the righteous side of history. Like we've done nothing but good things. Like because you know what I mean? Like wars are not waged for moral reasons. They're a continuation of the political process.
Well, they
and
never have.
We've lost that. Yeah.
I don't want to lose this thought. I don't want to lose this thought. I got it. I know what you're saying, Imperius, about not getting involved in shit. But you know, like Iran, if you understand the philosophy that overthrew it.
Oh yeah, that's a nuclear deterrence. That's a little different. That's an international world order thing.
Well, the philosophy amongst radicals that govern Iran are, if they get hold of a nuke, they're doing it.
Yeah, they're just going to nuke the world. Yeah, no, that's an international world order thing. I'm talking about like intra-conflict between African nations, intra-conflict between Asian nations, inter-conflict between Middle East. We don't need to be involved supporting all these sides and shit. Let people handle their problems, and if it affects us, then get involved. Nuclear proliferation's a little different, especially with Iran, because they have so many terrorist proxies. They get a nuke, they give it to a terrorist proxy. Can hit anyone in the world.
Well, the philosophy there amongst religious radicals that govern the place.
Well, break bread with the winners, not trying to choose who wins.
Yeah, give me 20 seconds. The philosophy.
Hold on. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. In the Middle East, like a la Pakistan, Iran, the terrorist cells over there are their special forces, are their Delta Force. They are a part.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the Iranian Royal Guard is like our Navy SEALs.
Right. Now, put all these factors in play. Now I'm going to give you the philosophy of the radicals that govern Iran. They want to like nuke the West or whatever with the greatest weapon possible because they think it will bring the wrath of God. They're basically saying to the West, for those that don't know, if you don't take us out before we can take you out, then we're going to take you out. That's their message. So, whereas whatever's going, I feel whatever's going on in Ukraine was something's been covered up there, and Russia's assisted.
Well, of course it has. Okay, let me explain.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video because it is only 4 seconds long. So I'm gonna get it out the way. And then I'm gonna be looking for the other one.
Yeah, it's your show. You don't got to just say shut up.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful to people. You got to be kind sometimes, you know.
Hey, me.
Oh, that was a nothing burger. I thought it was gonna be a big boom. I feel like that was a cock tease.
Me and Imperius are the spiciest people on the panel shows right now, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, for example, you know, the reason that we're protecting Ukraine is this: if Russia gets to Kiev and gets all that money laundering documentation, all that fucking evidence of our puppetry of laundering billions and billions of dollars to U.S. politicians through Ukraine, that will be an end of the United States government.
I was about to say, Without getting all
Oh, yeah.
conspiratorial, I do believe some corrupt black up budget shit's been covered up in Ukraine, man. That's why they installed that bullshit government there, to get away with some shit and doing it in underground bunkers or whatever. You notice how Russia just went straight through like a DIY store because underneath it was a munition center or something. Or what?
Which seems like our politicians were end up making deals.
It's the money laundering, guys. Look, if Russia gets
Child
the
trafficking,
documents
everything.
and the evidence that that U.S. politicians are getting funneled millions and millions of dollars from U.S. taxpayer money sent to Ukraine, that will be
Adrenochrome,
the
child
end
trafficking.
of the United States structure of government.
The Ukraine is a criminal black market.
It is a
country in the
criminal
world.
state. It is no
Criminal
different
state.
than a narco state.
Absolutely. Run by neo-Nazis.
Exactly. Run by neo. It's no different than a narco state like North Mexico. People don't read it. Like we have, the problem is that our politicians were funneling all that money for 20 years there, and so they can't be exposed. So they will make sure we give all our money to protect their exposure forever, because all those money, all the wire evidence, all the documentation, everything showing how corrupt all of the people in our government are.
Y'all see how many? Do y'all see the metric fuck ton of missiles that Russia just fired at Ukraine? Like, that's a whole lot of fucking hate on the map right now.
You're in the minority of sound thinking Americans as far as this Ukraine.
Well,
Russia
there's not many
situation.
sound thinking Americans. That's the problem. Why I want a monarchy. I don't want these people having an opinion.
One nation under God is a monarchy.
Well, yeah, but one it should be as above, so below. The universe is ruled by one man, so should our nation.
I'm just saying subtly, one nation.
Look,
under
they're
God
hitting Kiev too. They
is
look like
claiming
they were hitting
under a
Kiev.
monarchy. We're all tribes of Israel. The entire world will bend the knee to the one true
Look
God.
at that. Like if you look at where Kiev is, look at a lot of those missiles were hitting right there. See that at the end?
Yeah, no, you see the launch. Like,
Yeah.
it just starts out so pleasantly, clear skies, and then our missiles will blot out the fucking sun.
You fucking sadists.
You know, one thing that I kind of was wondering too, like they tried to do a decapitation strike either by accident to Putin, but I'm wondering why they never tried to do a decapitation strike with Zelensky. You know what I mean? Like and they avoided attacking Kiev too.
Because here's the thing. Ukraine is fighting an existential conflict, right? So they're going to try to do everything they can to win. Ukraine's victory is survival. Russia's victory is being able to take as much infrastructure and as much of their economy of Ukraine and as much living space without having to rebuild it as possible. Right. So they're trying to hit key targets to eliminate their ability to fight.
I agree with everything you said, other than the rebuilding.
just
I don't think rebuilding's an issue for anybody at the moment.
I don't think they want to. The thing is, that's cost in the long run.
If I told you it's possible to make diamond encrusted nanobots that can build a city for you in less than 2 weeks, right? Yeah, like a giant 3D printer, and that technology is available now. Would it make sense why some technocrats and multi-billionaires want to nuke half the fucking planet? Excuse my language.
It would.
It would make sense that also, look, if you get rid of the people there and the people don't know what resources are in that environment, you could easily
Hold on. I found the actual missile hitting the ground.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So finish your thought and then I'll play it.
Yeah, I agree with your entire equation, Orthodox. Just take out the rebuilding, and you probably, you're 90% there. Add in the rebuilding.
Yeah, they don't want to rebuild it. They want less population. Remember,
nobody cares about rebuilding, my friend.
Yeah, the elites, what they want is a pretty habitat for themselves, without the normal people taking their resources and breathing their diseased air. And it's no different. It's like an animal just wanting its pen cleaned all the time.
I did.
The oligarchs, though, are having a little civil war with themselves because some people are not at the table and they're infighting and trying to expose them.
Well, here's the thing about leadership of the country, about our countries, right? every faction in the West, if they're not in power, they don't care about you. They're only mad they're not in power and they want power
Exactly.
themselves. It doesn't matter if
Exactly.
it's the communists, the white nationalists. Every faction just wants to be in power for the same reason Imperius and EB3 said, in my opinion.
Because power doesn't ask permission. That's why.
Oh, you got footage of the boom boom? All right. Hold on. I also have this footage. Megamind, calm down. Let me not do that. Let me not be mean. She gives me good footage like 90% of the time. Сука.
Чё, ебать? Пизда. Ебать.
Yeah.
Сука. Ебанутый нахуй. Пиздец. Просто пиздец.
We all reap what we sow. We all reap what
Brutal,
we
man.
sow.
I mean, I don't wish that on anyone. I mean, God help us. You know, war is hell, man.
How is he not getting like smacked around by the concussion off those motherfuckers? Those are big fucking bombs.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, you got to stop it eventually. It's just the problem is they're at a stalemate where it's just a grinding mill right now. You know what I mean? I mean, Russia could just launch missiles the rest of the time and just make it a slaughter if they really wanted to. They don't have to move their troops anymore. They could they have enough artillery and missiles and ordinances that they could just launch the entire rest of the war and not do anything, man.
Well,
Russia's been very sympathetic because people forget there's a lot of ethnic issues there, historical, that Russia and Ukraine, they're kind of the same people. And deep down, although they're hatred right now, a lot of the countries, they don't want to wipe each other out. They've been a nation for 1,000 years a lot of the time.
This is literally just the Russian equivalent of the North versus the South.
Yeah, it's a civil war. Yeah, that got out of hand.
My granddad on my mum's side was a Lithuanian Russian speaking Jew. Yeah, so do you know what I mean? The Russia extended what the USSR was, all that region. There was naturally Russian speaking people there. And one of the first things that January the 6th that worked in Ukraine did was make the Russian language unlawful and made all these make all these people like criminals overnight and stuff. It was
Hold on one second. I got to do the Griffno state.
disgusting. Imagine speaking Russian all your natural life as a Ukrainian, being your natural language,
Slick
turned
Rick.
into a criminal overnight.
I'm willing to believe you if you support the Griffno state, right? You might be right, but I'm going to need some financial incentive to. It'll clear my mind of the propaganda.
Did you see that video released of the Ukrainians executing their deserters?
No, I have not.
Oh,
I don't think we can play that.
Yeah, it's like a drone. It's like
a
a 3D drone footage where they show like 3 Ukrainian soldiers.
And
like
there is
20
that as well. There is that.
Yeah, like
as well,
there's like 3 Ukrainian soldiers on their knees in front of them, and then they go like 5-10 feet back and they just execute. It's just
oh shit! Megamind sent the good footage of the drone attack on the Russian airfield.
Soon, the political elite won't actually need to create wars to keep people in control. They can.
Well, the next generation of warfare is to get the populace believe they're in a war or not.
Yes,
in a
that's
war.
it. That's it. All they got to do is stick the videos up, and you'll believe it. You won't know that there's some region in the world's being bombed or not. As long as there's a video showing it, you'll believe it. But it was all generated on AI.
Oh yeah, no. Have y'all seen the video that Distant Lights is talking about? Where I believe it was the Ukrainians. They had a special needs person in a trench, and they weren't really bullying him. He was kind of like a mascot for them. They were being a little jerkish, but he was kind of like a mascot for them, and he was like carrying around mortar shells and just like doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
So they had to put him like in the back of the trench.
Have you have any of you Trekkie fans or anything like that?
Yeah.
I like Star Trek.
Do you remember the episode or episodes where the Vulcans are checking see footage to see if it's been doctored or not in any which way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be something like that. It doesn't have to know whether some video.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole point. Fifth generation warfare is about manipulating the populaces and the information and propaganda and technology. Like the future of warfare is not necessarily missiles; it's to get the other nation to not fight.
And to make them believe something that's not necessarily accurate or true, which has always been the case. Always been the case, hasn't it?
The final battlefront or the combat space is like the mind.
The mind. You're not wrong.
Where they're gonna play mind tricks on you. I think even with the Google, was it NOE3? When I seen that, I was like, I don't think people are spiritually or intellectually prepared for the mind trick that they're gonna use.
There's a reason why you're being told the Epstein files and videos are that vast. There's that many. Like, yeah, there's police forces going through them all. They're waiting for AI to be that undistinguishable from the real thing, where all these celebs and all these people have been caught with it's AI, and some of these bad. Hang on, let me finish 10 seconds. Some of these bad actors who are caught will pay people out there to make fake AI videos of them doing it, prosecute that, so you won't know if what's real and what isn't, and like that shit's coming. They're waiting for the technology to be that advanced where they can get away with their crimes by saying it was all fake. A few scapegoats will be chucked under the bus, but that's what they're waiting for, in my opinion.
We don't got a lot of time to answer these very fundamental questions before we're not even going to be able to trust the answer. That's my whole thought on it. So I'm just trying to build that mental foundation.
Obama predicted a nuke going off in a dirty bomb going off in Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, sent by Iran. Like, these type of people try to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. And
well, it's not even that. Like, we've seen like video clips that were taken out of context and then having a massive movement behind it. Like, I could only imagine a 15-second clip that wasn't even real, and then with the right promotion and and propaganda push behind it, like that could affect everything.
And there's a bigger issue, and I gotta hop off after this. I gotta go to the gym, but there's a bigger issue. There's a meta question we're missing. Nothing exists outside of the mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Why do you think these people? Literally, there are people on the internet, like you hear them, you hear these interviews of people that are so legitimately fucked that they see reality different. Nothing exists outside of the mind. Okay, if a human being doesn't see it happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, quantum physics agrees with you anyway. The non-locality of matter has been
exactly.
Proven.
So what I'm saying is that if you control what is involved in somebody's mind, you control their reality.
Yes.
And right now you have 70% of the population, I'd say,
reality
whose
is a state of
mind
mind.
and reality is made for them.
Exactly.
Everyone's going. I'll hop off. I'll try to be back later, buddy.
What's your opinion on the Trump and Elon thing?
I think, honestly, if you want my opinion, I think it's chess. I think they're playing the press as enemies, and they're trying to get all this shit away and get the media to look stupid. So when they come back together, what Trump and Elon want to do, they understand that the number one enemy of the U.S. is the media. The media is the biggest enemy of the American people. And if you can delegitimize the media and the information, like I just said, going into the mind, okay, you can break the stranglehold of what the liberals have on this country, which is the fundamental control of non-reality. Remember, you guys have seen this, USAID, all this funding. There was never a left-wing movement in this country. It was a movement generated by your very tax dollars. It was not like the Tea Party, where a bunch of people got upset and there was a grassroots movement to create a new populist populist swing in a party. This was a small group of elites decided to use billions of dollars of tax money, funnel it to universities, to schools, to NGOs, to all kinds of institutions around the world to develop what you're seeing now, to where after 25 years, there is now a 50% of the people who physically believe what they believe. It was an
We've
entire
been operating
false
under
reality.
a false sense of consensus.
Yes,
A
exactly.
false sense
And it
of
was
consensus.
built, it literally there back in the early 90s, there was no person in the country who believed gays could get married. There was no person who believed that illegals could get help or get into, and all they did was fundamentally change people in the reality propagandized to them. And once you swing that slowly but surely, that Overton window, and what you do it's why I am the way I am on here. I'm so extreme because the more people hear the extremes, the more it becomes normalized, and you swing the Overton window. How do you think liberals got to believe that boys can become girls, girls can become boys, and little kids should be able to cut their shit off? They started talking about it out in the open so much that it became normal conversation.
Absolutely.
And people go, "Oh, okay, it's normal now."
It's a cult.
And look,
It's like a
it's
chant.
happening in
chant.
all different aspects. Because like Kanye, I just heard something about Kanye that he's taking that album Cut and he's putting it to streaming. So he's going to release it, right? But this is the thing: he's going to expose how they've been inflating the culture of like mumble rap and all this stuff by him making this obscene album, right? And he's going to pay for plays. He's dropping $100 million on it to expose that they've been artificially, making celebrities and all this. The smoke and mirrors is being
They
cleared out.
They pick and choose, and then they create artists. Why
Imagine
do you think
Billboard
the casting couch
100
is the
having
way
that
it
talk.
is? They casting couch to create movie stars. It's all a hedonistic cabal of bullshit.
Yeah, I
It's a
agree.
cabal
I
of
think
Satanism, dude.
I think the Elon and Trump drama is an orchestrated psyop of some sort.
Thank you. Exactly. It's them playing the media to get the media once again to overreact and be played. Look how many times since Trump's gotten to office, the media have played themselves, and how nobody pays attention to the media anymore.
I don't know to what end. I don't know what the reason
I'll
is.
tell you
or
what
for.
it is.
It's probably
To
a multiple
get the freaking
factor.
papers to get the Epstein shit released. Now you have plausible because you have the Democratic Party now tweeting, "We want the Epstein files released."
No, but like Elon's stock has plummeted overnight. Apparently, I don't know.
No, he also said, "Did you see what he?" No, what he tweeted was there was a fellow tech billionaire said, "Elon, you and Trump need to get back together. You guys don't understand. It's harder for us to see you guys fight. Don't separate." And then Elon's like, "That's true. I will think about it. I will not remove Dragon Capsule." So, dude, I'm telling you, Elon is autistic. He's the richest man in the world. He's used to getting his way, and he ran into the real most powerful man on the planet. Okay, and Trump's just saying, Elon, look, the way government works is you don't get what you want all the time. But if you look at what this bill is, it's going to get rid of illegals, and that's the number one threat right now. That in the 2030 census, all these liberal states are going to get all these extra votes and shit because of the 20 million illegals. People don't realize 20 million people is like the cumulative population of 13 states together. You're going to shift the House votes of 13 states.
Yeah, you're dealing with the ultimate technocrat, dealing with the ultimate populist. That's what you're seeing. Trump is the ultimate populist, right? Yeah, he's the ultimate most.
Think that throughout history,
It's the
do
Ronald
people
Reagan
not
of the
understand
times.
that, when Elizabeth and Talleyrand got into arguments in England on how to run things and stuff, it happens. Every ruler and their council argue from time to time.
I mean, it's fair to say Trump has been the most.
There's a
popular
lot of
man on the
people that
planet.
don't like Churchill and what he did, and argue whether that was even the correct thing to do.
Is it fair to
even
argue?
at the time,
Sorry, go on.
even at the time, there was a lot of generals and that were not impressed of how he was running the war.
Well, Lincoln fired 114 generals or something.
Is it fair to argue that Trump
Not
has
only
been
not only
the most
Supreme Court
popular
justices,
man
but governors too
on the planet for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7
He
years?
removed habeas corpus. He arrested people without charge.
Whether he's hated or loved, would you say that Trump has been the most popular man on the planet, on Earth. for the
He's the
last
most popular. He's the most.
10
He's
years.
the most known right now, probably.
Yeah, which
I think
means
he's the
popular.
most respected, or one of the most respected.
Whether he's loved or hated, respected or despised, or is it fair to argue that Trump has been the most popular man on Earth for the last 10
But
years?
doesn't popular mean liked? Doesn't that accumulate with liked?
What's up, Moxie? What's up, Moxie?
I'd say
Moxie's-
notorious, man. The most notorious.
Moxie's here. I got to answer a question.
Go
For
on.
those of you who knew Joshua Jones, it is with a heavy heart that I do have to report that he is dead. I talked to his father because I messaged him on Discord when Resla did his
He
live
was just
stream.
in New York. I just talked to him.
Moxie, have you seen my recent upload about
Hold on,
CT?
EV3, hold on.
Go on.
He was just over in New York, back home. Like, like what happened? Do you know what happened?
I didn't want to ask the father that because his father is very sick and his mother has mental problems, or so he said. I don't know if he was joking or what. He would call her a dingbat, and I don't know if he was joking, but his father reached out to me from his Discord, and he apparently has his phone, and everyone who's asking, he's letting them know. Josh was kind of a mentor to me and a good friend. So
Yeah, Josh was a good guy, man.
yeah, it's I don't know if he found God or if he was a Christian. He did believe in Christian values. And he said he'd rather have his children raised up in a Christian country than not. And me and him shared similar political views. And
No, I'm just worried for his poor kid, dude.
he has his kid and his wife, and his father and mother are not doing too well already health wise. So for those of you who are faithful, please keep his family in your prayers, because keep your family in your prayers, keep them close, and your friends, because I've lost a lot of people in the past 6 months. Friends and family are dropping like flies, and you just never know. So make sure you reach out to, if there's someone you ain't talked to that you care about in a while, make sure you reach out to them, because you never know when they're gonna pass.
Yeah, there's
And
always time. There's always time to apologize and reconcile. Remember, forgiveness is divine. So, I'll be back later, guys. That's really sad, but prayers to him, and I'll try to hop on later, guys.
Laters, man.
Sorry
It's
for
been
your
great.
lag.
It's been great
Sorry for your
slapping
loss,
you
bro.
about. It's been great slapping you about on genetics, and it's been great agreeing with you on Russia and Ukraine.
But yeah, I did speak. I did confirm with his father. I did not. I apologized to him for having my joke username, Breast Milk Bandit, because I was expecting it to be fake and him just pulling away from politics. So I didn't call him. I just messaged him on Discord. But yeah, no, his father did reach back out to me and confirm that he passed last week sometime.
Yo, Moxie, why is Kool-Aid Kareem scared of me?
Yes, Moxie, that is this Joshua Jones. That is our Fed boy in the sky. He will forever be our Fed boy. He will always be our FBI agent now. He's gone to the great the great watch center in the sky. That's just how I grieve. I make jokes, I make light of the situation. Y'all gotta forgive me if y'all don't do that. Josh was a good man and he will be missed. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, Orthodox, you said you was creating a channel about law and stuff, right? Yeah, I'll give you some law. My name, I've got the recording. It's over a 12-hour stream, right? Yeah, I've downloaded it. It's on my hard drive. I can prove it, and I can make like one of these montages. It would be shameful, but my name, EB3, got mentioned over 100 times on Chaotic Truth Live the other night, within the last week or two, right? Yeah. And I got banned and censored from his platform, right? Yeah. And he's scared to say everything that was said on this 12-hour live, right? Yeah. To my face, to me. And there's some law for you, innit? Why is he scared? Why is this sick, chaotic truth out of all these characters scared of me the most? Yeah. Moxie, why is your man chaotic truth scared of me?
I'm close enough to Josh to actually know if that were true, and his father reached back out to me and confirmed that he passed away. So,
See what I mean? Like you know the guy's dad, and people on the internet think they know better than.
well, I mean that it is a Josh thing to do. To be fair, That's why I didn't believe it when Resla did it. And instead of questioning, and I was just like, I just got on and I started messaging him on all the platforms.
So he'd appreciate the joke regardless. So it's
No, he definitely would. He'd probably laugh. He's probably laughing his ass off now seeing it.
Then forgive my. I know I'm new to your drama. I don't mind sharing mine with you,
but no. Speaking of, up real quick. I'm gonna drop my Discord for everybody. Please feel free to join.
I'll be joining that.
Yeah, I had to. I did kick Dr. Chink and all of the Aliens Anonymous people.
Good. I left out. You've seen the videos I've made on them. I've really got no ties with them dickheads. I've slapped them about on the internet before. I can show you a history of them begging me to come to their server. I'll create you special accounts, everything. Right? And I went over there eventually because Chin just wouldn't fucking stop harassing me to go there. And then they try setting me up and everything. I've washed my hands with them anyway. I'll slap Chin about one more time whenever I get a chance to. But other than that, I got nothing to do with them.
Well, I have no beef. I just thought it would be best because of what they are known for and what the suspicious stuff they were doing.
Man, dodgy as fuck.
So that's for anybody in here that wants to join my Discord. If you join while the stream is going, you don't have to be vetted, and you don't have to be vetted. But if you join 30 minutes after the stream or later, you do have to be vetted. And when you join, you won't be able to see anything because I have to give you a role. But no.
Yeah. If you went live for 12 hours and mentioned my name over 100 times, Orthodox, and you let me on, and you've never done that, but if you did, I'd definitely call you out on it, man. I'd be like,
you
what?
should. That's crazy.
It's crazy shit. I can't be bothered, but I could make the montage of every time my name got mentioned. It would run for about 5 minutes.
Here's the thing, EAE. Out of all the accounts that I have for Josh, he reached out to me on a very specific one. So for me, it confirms it. But I mean, like I said, it's a very Josh thing to do. And I would be overjoyed to find out that it was an elaborate setup. I wouldn't even be mad at him. Because, like I said, I've lost a lot of people this year in my real life. I don't want to see my internet friends dropping like flies, too.
Come up, Moxie.
Why don't you do that, Lauren? I'll give you special mod privileges, and you can create more channels in the server. How about that? Don't boss me around.
Come up, Moxie. Let's have a nice legal conversation about semantics of law.
But who died? Yeti. That would be Joshua Jones, the internet's favorite Fed boy.
I dare ya.
They passed away. I'm gonna watch this video that Lauren sent me. It's the footage of the drone strikes actually attacking the aircraft in Moscow earlier this week.
Prized warplanes. Ukrainian intelligence has released striking new footage, set to dramatic music, of more than 35 drone strikes on Russia's strategic nuclear-capable fleet. A swarm of...
By the way, the reason they're having to use these drones is those tires actually fuck up the thermal sensors on thermal-guided missiles. It's kind of funny.
FPV drones ripping into airfields thousands of miles from the front lines. The targets include Russia's Tu-95 and Tu-22 bombers used to fire cruise missiles into Ukrainian cities. Even more devastating, 2 A-50 airborne radar planes, similar to America's AWACS, the eyes and ears of Russia's Air Force, were hit. Also new, footage showing trucks carrying what looked like prefab houses. Inside, drones. Positioned near Russian air bases, the rooftops opened and the drones launched. And here's what's truly next level. These drones used artificial intelligence to finish the job. When connections were lost, Ukrainian officials say autonomous mode kicked in. The drones followed pre-programmed routes, then used machine vision to lock on, the explosives detonating automatically. We reported on a similar system last year while filming for our War Robots documentary.
For those of you who don't know, this is definitely an escalation into the conflict, because the tactics they are using would be defined in any other conflict as terrorism. And the tactics they are using are actually against the Geneva Convention, as they are not a uniformed military, and they're acting as partisans or paramilitary units within the borders of a sovereign nation. So those people could be shot on sight without any repercussions. But this is a huge escalation in the conflict, a lot bigger than I think people understand.
Yeah, because now that's on the table. That's on the table now, and then we're susceptible to this too because we don't have an answer to that.
Well, the thing about it is, like, the way terrorist tactics work, right, is if you use terrorist tactics can be used upon you legally.
Yeah, you just change the rules.
International law. Yeah. So there is, at this point in time, by my understanding and what I've been taught about the Geneva checklist, is there is, at this point in time, because they use terror tactics, nothing off the table except for a nuclear strike. So
Moves in, all at the push of a button.
It was close, very close.
For the test, the drone's programmed to pull away before hitting us. Ukraine's release of this footage isn't just a strategic flex, it's a message. Not just a black eye from Moscow, a strategic concussion. The loss of those Russian AWACS, that may limit Russia's ability to detect air defense systems, to
what makes this a difference in tactics? I thought I explained it. What makes this a terrorist tactic versus a strategic bombing is the fact that he specifically said that it was in vehicles that were not clearly marked as military vehicles. They were put in civilian clothing, basically. If they were soldiers, they would have been in. I love how I paused it right there. It looks fucking hilarious. But they were not clearly marked and designated as military vehicles, and that is something that is designated as terrorism whenever you conduct a military operation in plain clothes. That would be the difference. If it was a marked military jet or marked military equipment that was able to sneak into the border undetected and do it, it
What do
would
they
just
call
be
them? Combat belligerents under a different classification for the UCMJ or
I
law of the
believe
war
so.
manual?
I believe so. I'd have to contact. I had a friend in the Air Force who served in the Middle East, and we talked about a lot of this, especially when the war started. And I do know that's how come I know if you use terrorist tactics, like you basically mark your entire country as, okay, we can use terrorist tactics against you. Because here's the thing. If you notice, a lot of our special forces, when they do the wet work stuff, they still go in as clearly marked military units. They don't go in plain clothes unless they're specifically doing policing actions, which they're allowed to do in plain clothes. But if they are not, if they're doing an actual military operation, whether it's a wet works or it's anything,
I think the phrase you're looking for is rules of engagement.
Well, like here's the thing: like when they did the stealth mission to take out Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, whether you believe that was real or not, those units were clearly marked as military units. That's the key difference there.
There's rules of engagement, and beyond that is a terrorist attack.
It's considered terrorism.
Someone asked the question. Someone asked pause it a sec. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you're willing to take friendly fire, pretty much, because that's another problem too. If you're not identified, you could get friendly fire. So I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing in the battlefield not being identified?
Yes, I mean, like someone asked what the difference was between a terrorist attack and official army business or whatever. That's the difference. The rules of engagement that you either adhere to or you don't. However, terrorism is ultimately like beauty. Like it's in the eye of the beholder as far as the terrorist is concerned. Like
one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. It's a terrorism or terrorist is much like the word beauty. It can be used in many different fashions. However, there isn't an official government definition of what terrorism entails. Even though, like someone that jumps in front of a train, it feels grumpy one day or something like that, or down in the dumps, like all the kids that see brains splattered all over the place, that's terrorizing for them. That was a terrorist attack, right? Yeah. So even though the state won't consider it one, what is considered terrorism to you or the state, or depends on the rules of engagement.
There's that Discord link,
politically
by the way. I'm
extreme-
sorry, I forgot to post it earlier.
No, I like the way you've. I've just joined your Ministry of Culture. I like the way you've got that vetting set up. I might copy that for my server. You're welcome to mine as well. Do you want my link? Do you want my link?
Yeah, drop it. I'll join.
Yeah, cool, man.
You just got your role, so you should be able to see everything. I do have to add more channels. Lauren is correct. It does need some mod. But I'm gonna finish playing this video.
Coordinate targets for fighter jets and guide aircrafts. That said, Putin is now saying that he will exact revenge for this attack. Jason Bellini, Scripps News Group, Kyiv, Ukraine.
One thing I've noticed, I'm gonna play this one, so I need everybody to remain silent because it's one that's gonna cause echo with how I have to play it. This right here is a bridge that is being mined by the Ukrainian armed forces outside the outskirts of Seversk using Russian FPV drones. Oh, it's being crazy. I didn't know they were using Russians' equipment against them. But this is in the Kursk region, and the Ukrainian armed forces are mining a bunch of bridges to prevent the advance of the Russian military. And the Russian FPV drones, what we're seeing, they're able to apparently destroy the mines and get rid of them. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah, them supersonic things, yeah.
You're gonna cause an echo, so.
Oh, sorry.
They're just saying, screw those mines. We're just gonna detonate the bridges. That is fucking wild. That is wild.
Yeah, is that you? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Breast.
Cool. Yeah, there is here are some hectic scenes after the missile strikes that we watched earlier. This is outside of the Bolshevik factory in Kiev. I refuse to call it Kyiv. It is Kiev. Man, like that fire is wild. Fire is wild. Things are getting crazy.
It almost seems like that's going to be a proxy for like a decade almost. I don't see Ukraine giving up.
Well, they're in an existential conflict.
And I don't see Russia giving up either.
Yeah,
They sacrifice way too much.
There was no sound in that video, Lauren. I'm gonna play another one. This one is, and I this could be Russian false information, just to cover my bases. This is a Russian Lancet drone supposedly destroying a majority of NATO-supplied M109 howitzers. Again, this could be Russian misinformation, but it does show some conflict where they are supposedly destroying NATO howitzers.
I have no doubt those are genuine. However, like Arma 4. I mean, like there are some serious computer games out there now that can render that quality and better.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's the thing. You got to be very careful.
You gotta be careful, man. With this, like we don't know what's propaganda and what isn't, man.
Yeah, both sides have been caught using the video game Arma and several other video games to.
My favorite was the Ghost of Kiev. My boy Sam out there.
Oh, that was funny.
And it's not even hard to trick the mainstream media, it seems like. So that's why it's just sort of like, that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like I have to work on my discernment and like kind of like, you know, and have a like strengthen up my moral compass, because I'm like I'm gonna be led astray like easily if I'm not mindful of this.
You're right about falling in the mainstream media. Do you remember when Elon brought Twitter and X and started sacking people, and those memers started walking out of the building with their boxes with their headphones on the box, and they weren't even employees there, but they started walking out and getting interviewed by the press as if they like that was genius. Do you know what I mean? That's how easy it is to trick them.
Yeah, they're good at orchestrating moments. Yeah, they're good at orchestrating moments where like they have, you know, a small crowd behind them, but it looks like it's a big crowd, and then you'll have people showing behind the curtains that is just like 10 people, 15 people with signs. And it's just like, yeah, they did that to us for a long time. And it's just like, now it's just a more sophisticated version of it. They have the possibly the ability to edit in real time, censor in real time. Like, who knows what AI is actually really truly capable of doing? And it'll probably be an incrementation over time.
But the reason why I think those are genuine is because you can get much better quality and try and pass it off as genuine than that. That's why I believe those are genuine for some strange reason. But if you was creating a top level psyop, that's how you would do it anyway, wouldn't it? Like, so I don't know.
No, I mean,
well, like you know, people make fun of the boomers for falling for AI prank calls, but I think like, yeah, if we're not mindful of it, we're gonna be tricked by AI like fake videos that we think it's real, but it's not. You know, so I don't know. It's just something that I've been kind of like
as an
paying more attention
AI. As an adopter of AI, I can tell you that is something that is already happening, and you would not believe the quality of AI videos you can get just for free.
I would, and I'd believe.
I was shocked.
Listen, anyone who's an 80s kid knows that, and beyond knows, and consoles, for instance, like PlayStation, they're developing like the PS2 or PS3. When the first one come out, they had the prototypes for the next one and so forth. They're already in development stages of the next 2 or 3 consoles beyond the one. Now just take that that modus operandi, and apply it to all the tech now. What they've got in the military and in the black ops world, right? Yeah, is fucking light years beyond anything that's in this commercial realm. And what's in this commercial realm is highly sophisticated. So imagine the levels that they're dealing with on like, Pegasus and that. According to Israeli technology, Pegasus can infiltrate any phone, any device on the planet and read everything on it. They've even, and it must be accurate because this government that I'm inhabiting have officially written it into law where if journalists use anything given to them via this technology, they can be prosecuted for it. Yeah, it's just, do you know what I mean? So it's one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So like what you're seeing in just this realm is like the tip of the iceberg of what's actually going on beyond it, man. This is a way of introducing us all to the technology. Like I told you earlier, they've the capability of nanobots creating a city from scratch, right? Yeah, it is available now, like and create an environment like a giant 3D printer. And you can, and billionaires like what's his name, Zuckerbergs and that, they want to own their own cities where they're like the mayor of it, and their inhabitants that are like their Facebook crew or customers, like are in this. They're in like a hut, like I'm in now, like with all your digital stuff, all your gadgets and that. But your Zuckerberg Facebook city, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and if your rating goes down, you get evicted and you have to go to a different city or something, or you're only accepted if you have a certain rating or of a certain caliber. These people want to own their own cities and run them. They're not just happy with you being on their platforms all day. They want to own you completely. They want you working in their cities that they've created from nanobot scratches, mate. They're ready to level everything. What these billionaires, these technocrats are. I guarantee you now. And all this you're seeing, that's why I do not doubt that they are genuine. This is just the start of leveling everything before the new shit gets built. Like you could just look at it like raking a garden, or planting seeds before you get like a new flower bed and it's all glorious and marvelous. You've got to cause some destruction first. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelette and all that jazz. These technocrats are operating that philosophy on this world scale, and they're going to implement these wars. They are going to set off dirty bombs in cities. People are going to die. Cities are going to fall because that's quicker than trying to buy people out and doing it legitimately above board when there's terrorists out there who want to do it for you anyway. We're going to level the West. Do you know what? Come and do it because Zuckerberg wants to build these new cities anyway. That's the plan. They're going to provoke them to do something, and then they're going to obviously take Iran out. That's obviously.
I don't think there is a plan though. I honestly don't think there is a plan.
I have some more combat footage for us here.
Go, man. Go. I'm just rambling. I'm shooting the shit.
All right. Well, here we go. Hold on one second. By the way, viewer discretion advised, this particular combat footage is more combat-y than the last. It actually shows
Slick Rick knows what I'm talking about in chat.
It actually shows people being tagged. You get what I mean? People being shot because they're actually fighting. It shows the destruction of crewed vehicles. So viewer discretion advised. If you are under the age of 18, please leave the video. This is the 10th Motor Assault Brigade repelling a Russian motorcycle assault near the village of Vasil in the Donbass region. And apparently it was in and around the 3rd or 4th of a couple of days ago. I believe they said this is the Ukrainians repelling a Russian motorcycle assault.
I mean, the warning's here because they're being passed off as genuine, but there's computer games that are far harsher. You can go to any gamer playing COD now and see rawer shit than that. It's mad, isn't it?
Somebody wants to know if you have the 10 Commandments hanging behind you.
No, look, I've got like a music studio going on. These are soundproof panelings.
No, Lauren, I fixed that issue yesterday. Me and Dennison fixed it. The issue is because I'm looking at these through Telegram, I have to share my entire desktop audio. So we all have to be very, very quiet on the panel when I'm playing the video, or it causes an echo. Picking up that as well.
Yeah, soundproof panelings, highly recommended if you're into this jazz. You're leveling up, and getting new equipment. You're eventually going to piss off your neighbors and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, don't tell me what to do, woman. But yeah, no, I definitely will be, because I'm fixing to be moving into my office. I just got through fixing it up in there. I'm gonna go redrill. I'm gonna pull out the cables from my internet connection and just move into my office. So I will be getting some soundproof paneling soon. But yeah, we have to be very, very quiet because I don't want to listen to Lauren. So,
no, but Lauren's right. I use OBS too, but I'm definitely going to be. I look. What StreamYard is basically OBS, but for have you ever heard of cloud gaming, where you can just like jump on a cloud?
Yeah, I use Streamlabs all the time. Whenever you see whenever you see one of my gaming videos come up, I'm not using Streamlabs for that. Now that there's a couple I was experimenting with.
No, what I mean is, do you know what cloud gaming is? Let me explain it to you. Cloud gaming is like, say you've got a shit PC that's got nothing. You can log on to a server that gives you access to a really good PC with all the gig, all the data, all the shit, so you can play the games you want with minuscule lag. As long as you got a decent connection, you can control this other PC and play the best games you want through cloud gaming, right? Yeah. So it gives people that can't afford good PC equipment a chance to game with the best of them and stuff like that, or play the top games that they want without buying the hardware for it. Now OBS is downloadable software that allows you to stream and do all the nitty gritty as a programmer. It's the best software in the world. Lauren's right, but this StreamYard Labs is like OBS cloud gaming for like StreamYard is like cloud OBS, if that makes sense. You can, it doesn't matter what device you've got, you can jump onto StreamYard and do OBS on it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, on the cloud. So Lauren, you're kind of right, but you're also wrong, man. If you don't need to use your resources and you can afford StreamYard Prime or Core or whatever it is, right, then it's definitely worth having. It's a nifty bit of kit.
Absolutely. Imperious, I believe that it is we'll just go with on that one.
OBS is the best way to stream if you've got the best shit, but StreamYard is
ass cheeks.
StreamYard, whether you've got it doesn't matter if you've got the best shit or not. I'd still use it anyway. It's why use all my resources when all my resources that you can see being used on OBS can be done effortlessly on this cloud StreamYard stuff. It's a beautiful little app that enables you OBS capabilities in the cloud. Mwah! Like StreamYard is definitely the way. It's definitely got something.
I'm gonna have to tell Lauren. You know what? Counterpoint. You're a woman, so that's wrong. All right, I'm gonna get some more to this video. We got to be quiet. I don't want to echo.
Yeah, I'm going to get some food now. So it's been great, Orthodox. You keeping this up? Yeah.
I'm gonna try. If I get tired and it's around the 3-hour mark, I'll probably end it. But if not,
you're keeping the live up so I can watch it back.
Yeah. No, all my live streams I keep up.
All right, cool, brother. I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah. See you later.
You have a good one. Be safe.
Peace, man.
Later.
This is this is the same combat footage we were watching again. This is a motorcycle assault from the Russian armed forces being repelled near the village of Belency in Donbass. That was fucking wild.
They've really been accelerating like the damage. Like that's why I was kind of wondering if like, you know, how much of that them holding back was actually true. It almost seems like they just completely are just they're letting off their gas pedal. And I think Ukraine probably had planned that like at least a year in advance. They said that even the technology to control drones that far away was like almost unheard of. So they're like, there's some new tech that was being developed. And that's another problem too that we have is that our military industrial complex is looking at this like, well, we could try all of our weapons against their weapons. How could they resist? You know? So it's like a catch-22 is just sort of like, I don't see this ending.
Oh, I foresee this being. This is the modern equivalent of World War One. This is rapidly devolving into trench warfare, and drone operators are becoming very hated. It's getting to the point where if they capture a drone operator on either side, they just outright execute.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that's a different type of like unsettling feeling just even hearing those things. Because I remember seeing like in the beginning when they started using them a lot, like I would see a lot of drone footage, and it's just like people would talk about how they would just be terrified from the noise, not knowing where it was coming from. And then, you know, also I'm kind of confused why nobody carries around a shotgun in the squad. Seems like that would be the most. Go ahead.
The one that gets me right is where the drone literally chases the guy around the vehicle he's in. That's the one that like really fucks me up.
Because you know there's nothing really you could do at that point. That you're just kind of like, I hope it doesn't hit where it needs to. And it's kind of it's more brutal than I wanted, than I expected it to be. And like, yeah, I don't. It's kind of hard to see. Like I have to stop. Because it does get frustrating and infuriating that it's just there is no end in sight, and we're just watching like two brother countries just destroy themselves like yet again. Like I don't like it's hard to like at first it was like whatever, but now it's just kind of like this is like becoming uncomfortable to notice that it's not going away.
People don't understand. What people don't understand is this is like people are talking shit on Russia, right? This is not America fighting goat herders. This is not a third world country. This is not a third world country being invaded by a technological superpower. This is literally a near peer competitor going at it with a near peer competitor. It's Air Force versus Air Force, infantry and mechanized weapons versus infantry and mechanized weapons. This is what all of us industrialized nations are in for when we go to World War III. It's going to be a new trench warfare. It's either going to be trench warfare in the rural areas or intense urban combat in the cities.
And like in the beginning of the war too, like air superiority was like almost like taken out completely, like for Russia. Like it was kind of wild to see that it's just like, yeah, you're not going to rely on air support. That's going to probably be like a month, and then that's going to be taxed completely because of the like again the new technologies that are coming out where everything's just becoming more and more long range. The India war where they lost 7 jets in one day. I don't think we could stomach that type of loss. You know?
No, that's the thing. Once you start, our modern doctrine is completely for fighting a technologically inferior people. Like World War II, where you're gonna see air battles a la World War II, like dogfights.
Yeah,
you're gonna see, because like even if you have a generation or two ahead in fighter technology, like they're still able to fight you in an efficient manner or outnumber you. Like China, they can mass produce their equipment. See, here's the thing. Germany was the most technologically advanced nation. And this is what I find very funny that Americans don't seem to understand. We didn't beat Germany because our tanks were better. We beat Germany because one of their tanks equaled 4 of ours, but we luckily had 5. That's how we were able to beat Germany. And I find it very funny that America wants to talk about taking on China, but has completely fucked our industrial capability to make shit.
I think I forget his name. I think his name was Curtis. He was like the Air Force general for World War II, and he literally said that the reason why we won is because we could move logistically anything in any part of the world, you know, and our manufacturing was up to par. Now we still could do the logistic. I think it's something Curtis. I think he's a General Curtis. I think he was for the U.S. Air Force in World War II. But he said he wasn't in no doubt in his mind that we could win a war with China because we could move our stuff there. He was talking about wanting to nuke China. Like they were already sort of like, no, we're going to do this completely. But, you know, things happen and stuff like that. But it's our ability to logistically move stuff that we've made that got us to win World War II.
Yeah, it was our resources, capability, and our logistics network. Imagine you're a Japanese soldier eating rice, damn near starving to death, and then you engage Marines and you win, right? You win against this very small contingent of Marines. You check a dead body's ration and they have ice cream. That's gonna be an instant fucking morale killer. You're eating maggot-filled rice, and that's stuff that actually happened to the Japanese in the Pacific.
Yeah, I think that broke a lot of like the morale for like, you know, the Axis powers, just seeing how we were able just to have that, and we paid for it with the dairy. There's a whole thing about ice cream and the dairy subsidies and everything that's from that flex, and that we're still paying to this day. So like, it's
a lot of those subsidies are good for the economy, and it keeps our economy afloat. But there's a lot of half-ass measures that have been done since then for the economy. They're not so well.
And I'm gonna hop off in a little bit. I just got to my destination, but I did wanted to bring this up too. Like, I'm under the impression that we're full swing in a transition to a different paradigm, but I don't know what that is. Like, there is this
fun. That's the fun of it, ain't it? We're on the precipice of change. We live in interesting times. It's beautiful to me, personally.
It is, but it's also like concerning and nerve wracking because, like, I don't know which side is winning. I just see a tug of war.
My brother in Christ, keep this in mind. All men are meant to die. We strive for greatness. No matter our personal failures in life, we should always be open to the next opportunity and challenge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I just see this as potential for greatness and change.
And we gotta answer the call, I guess. But it's just like this is a particular pickle that we're in. And, you know, I just wish everybody to stop the infighting here, and we could kind of like at least start a conversation. We could kind of like see where we're heading and plan for hope for the
Most
best.
definitely check out the channel, because I do want to talk to you and other people more about the collectivism thing we were talking about.
No, yeah, for sure. Because like I found Hood's channel, right? So I just been very intrigued with the way he presents things. And that's how I found you. So he's actually like, you know, he's reaching out, he's bridging the gap. So I understand the Black perspective a lot more because I've been around them completely in the dark about the white perspective because I lived in Chicago and it was all segregated. So the most I know is like Seinfeld and reality shows and stuff like that, but that's not real. Like I'm starting to kind of understand like the mindset, so and it's through help. So I'm just like, yeah, I have insights, but they're different and they're more like macro and geopolitical because I'm trying to understand the whole lore that we've been under and this whole like journey that we're kind of seeing the conclusion of the liberalist project and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, I'll definitely come back. I find you interesting, with a lot of the people that Hood brings on and Bumpkin and everybody else. Like, shout out to everybody, especially True. I'm definitely going to check out that show, and I'm interested to see where that goes. But yeah, man, appreciate talking to you, bro.
No problem. I'm out of war footage, and I'm out of stuff for today. And I do believe, we're 30 minutes away from it not being the morning anymore. So I think I'm about to end it. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, I'll come back again. Later.
Appreciate you. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Orthodox Guy. We had Bumpkin, but he is he had to pick up his lady friend for his adventurous weekend. So I think he's going to be having a little fun, little R&R. So thank you all for being here with me. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to listen to this voice at this time, talk about bullshit and yell about on the internet. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed it. Support the Griffno State, if you enjoyed the channel, send a couple bucks so I can improve the stream. It really keeps me motivated. I thank you all for listening. I will probably be back tonight, or I might take a couple breaks to get some stuff taken care of. I just got to see what I got to do. I might be doing some gaming streams because I finally got the mic set up and the soundboard and mixer. So I might be playing some different video games, some nerdy stuff. I have, for those of you who know what Star Sector is, I might be playing that. Or I might start something else. I have a bunch of nice little fun video games I could chill and play. I could do a first-person shooter. I'm probably going to be working with James to try to do some first-person shooters. Or I could do another talk stream where I just talk and hang out with the crowd, and we can play the Discord games we play to do personality tests again. Whatever you guys are interested in. Thank you all for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. God bless you all. Remember, reach out to your families, keep them close, and thank you for watching. Please come back. Nice to have you. You guys have a wonderful morning.
And Tropicana gets its roof torn off, Tropicana Stadium that the Tampa Bay Rays play in. And if you look into it, Tropicana orange juice was created in 1947 at the same time the U.S. military did their first ever experiment on a hurricane. You guys can look it up, 1947, first experiment on a hurricane. Bradenton, Florida is where Tropicana orange juice was created, in Bradenton. So you just happen to have Anderson.
I've had non-sexual orgasms within my body, pleasures that I didn't know were possible.
Fuck yeah.
There's another short hat.
You deserve that, wrestler.
It's true. You do deserve it.
It's damn near like a rite of passage in this. Oh my god, it's working.
Mandy says that Dolly drifts harder than me. This is fucking unacceptable.
Get pulled out, bitch. You don't drift enough.
I really haven't been grifting hard enough. You guys, I just found out I have cancer.
Got cancer in your pee-pee?
You have cancer.
All right, but seriously, donate some fucking money just because I might have cancer and just not know about it.
And to be fair, that is untreated, unknown cancer is the worst type of cancer because it's untreated.
Right,
so I think
and unknown.
For untreated cancer people, get out your wallets, open your wallets, open your heart.
I can't believe I have the worst type of cancer there is. This is tragic. I just need some money to kill me.
God is so good. The stillness is so gentle. The silence is powerful. See, because it's through the silence of our listening and our seeking that God reveals the wisdom. The wisdom is realized in the silence from within you. The silence within you is beyond the mind chatter, behind those gossiping and controlling voices that are always around, whether it's in your ears or around. There's voices and gossip and voices and words that want to control you, want to interrupt your peace, interrupt your silence. You choose what you allow.